want him to look at me in the eye, and I want to tell him like everything that I've been feeling and how I, wish I would have told him the moment that I started to catch any type of feeling. Like, we've gotten to know each other. We spent every single day together almost for the last 6 or 7 weeks. I feel
he wanted to embarrass me.
I had no intention of coming there to embarrass you. Again, that was not my intention. I apologize for that.
I think it's bull.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbird 91. You already know what time it is. Listen, we are talking to you guys about Married at First Sight. Yes, I'm on time for once. Well, slightly by a minute late. But listen, look, we're going to talk to you guys about the latest episode. It was crazy. It was mad. We had somebody say, listen, look, and this consultation, she normally charges, but this one is free. Shout out to Emem reading our good friend Akechi his rights as well. Listen, look, can I be honest with you? This episode was exhilarating. We had Madison letting us know that, listen, she's not sorry. Like, I don't know what I like Madison. I think she's cool, but she ain't sorry. And like I'm going to say again, most people aren't sorry when they cheat. I'm just going to be honest with you. You say it for optics. Okay, if we really want to be honest about it, maybe I'll do a video one day. Most people that are cheating, they say it for optics. They don't care that they cheated, okay? It's just that it sounds bad if I don't say sorry. You know what I mean? But look, Madison and David unadulterated, literally sitting in front of the experts and letting them know, that they are ready to, be friends, you know what I mean? And find this love they say they want to talk about. But hey, look, can I be real with you? It is one of those things where it does happen, but we don't agree with that particular behavior. And obviously last night, if you were with us when we were talking about, the show, and we had a great argument and debate around some of the topics around Emem's letter. I know a lot of you guys will comment in the chat. I'm sure you're going to be guns a-blazing once more again, because we will definitely chop it up again about Emem's letter once more. And we'll discuss obviously as well a bit more about Juan and Karla. I know some people wanted to share their perspective because it's a super panel as well. And then we got to talk about Thomas and Camille, because I want to be honest with you. Okay? I think there is something deeper here. I think there might be a little bit something deeper here. I really hope there isn't, but it might be something a little bit deeper here. I don't know if that woman wants that man. I don't know if that woman wants that man. I mean, I gave her a pass slightly on the thing of not speaking into the microphone. And I probably shouldn't do those hand signals without saying pause. But, without her speaking into the microphone. And now she don't want to wear the lingerie. Now, I've had Camille's back from early because, the team was on her about the black comments. But, sis, I mean, I'm asking, what's going on? We're not speaking into the microphone and we're not doing lingerie? Maybe you're making some power plays. Maybe she wants to make some power plays. Maybe she wants to, assure the fact that she gets a man. I don't know. But for right now, I'm not sure if this Thomas and Camille thing is going to go the distance. But I have been wrong before, and I'm willing to be wrong again. In fact, I'm kind of hoping that I'm wrong. I'm hoping that it is not true. I'm hoping that Camille really digs Thomas. Okay? And that lingerie situation is just her teasing him till after he says yes on decision day. Now, I don't know. Okay, all right, but I mean, they're already married, so I don't know what she's waiting for. Okay, they're already married. I don't know what she's waiting for. But hey, that's my quick thoughts as well. I'm gonna get El Cid on to the platform. We're gonna start the conversation. The rest of them will follow. I said I'm gonna start a little bit on time today, and try to keep things ticky tacky, keep things tidy, ticky. It's okay. The English will find me very, very soon. All right, listen, let me get El Cid on. El Cid, the English was leaving me for a second or two. Talk to me, El Cid. What are you saying?
Not you trying to say the rest of the panel are the ones that are late and not you.
For once in my life, I'm trying to be on time.
Okay. So where do we start? Are we starting with the lingerie?
I think we should start with the lingerie. I think we should get with the lingerie. I think we need to understand what's going on with this lingerie and understand what's going on, because I'm believing that Camille may not be having, right, the real feelings for Thomas. Maybe just me. Maybe I'm thinking too sexually. I'm thinking to myself, maybe in the past of Egypt, I'm kind of using that thought process that women didn't usually, you know what I mean? If they didn't speak into, people might have their preference, but they wouldn't, you know what I mean? Then they're like, I don't want you to do it for me either. But then they wouldn't have had the lingerie for me. Do you know what I mean?
My problem is, why am I telling you about the lingerie? I should just be presenting it.
Okay.
Why
Okay.
are we talking about I have something in my bag? You should just see it presented. Too much talking, not enough action tells me Camille ain't about that. She ain't about that. He gonna be waiting until the anniversary, then wait until his birthday, then wait until Christmas. She gonna be waiting. He gonna be waiting. Camille, stop talking about the lingerie. If you don't want us to see it, that's fine. Let Thomas see it, please. He could tell us later, oh, I like how you look in that lingerie. We don't need to see it. Please let Thomas have some. Please. I'm begging for him. And y'all know I ain't about Thomas. Y'all know I've been on his neck, but I don't like this. Don't tease the man. You got to say yes on decision day and keep me in order to see my lingerie. No, that's the wrong move. She don't want that man. She teasing him. Because we don't have to see it. The cameras can be gone. Y'all have y'all Mr. and Mrs. time, and we hear about it later. But you're putting him on camera in matching pajamas. Okay? Matching basic JCPenney pajamas. The red and black squares. I don't think she like that man, but I'm hoping she's playing in the camera. I'm hoping she's playing. I'm hoping. Because Thomas did drop a thing. Problem he have with David is how David got caught. So Thomas, I'm gonna need more information. Thomas?
Oh, if he would have got the card that he held up. But I think, okay, let me be fair to him. I think that
No,
when he said
not that card. He wouldn't have been caught like that.
Oh, he would have. He said he wouldn't have been caught like that. Oh, like with the situation with what David and Madison had. But that contradicts what he said, because obviously in the game he said, "I'm most likely to get caught because I'm not very good at lying." So then that would contradict his statement about Madison and David. So there might be some duplicity here. That really and truly, maybe that first answer that he gave with the placard really was more about a secret confession about how he is. Because see, those of us who have cheated and cheated properly, we're not talking about the little light cheat, the proper cheat, right? You know your own darkness. And once you've gone there, you now know what you're capable of. Do you know what I'm saying to you? You never forget. You've been trained. So maybe that's what he meant. I don't know.
Maybe, but it's like you teasing this man. Stop. Just let him see it. I mean, come on. He has torn his hamstring. He has allowed you to beat him up, use the massage gun roughly on him. The least he could get is the lingerie. Come on now. And y'all, yes, I'm saying it incorrectly for a reason. The least he can get is to see you in the lingerie. You've been teasing since the honeymoon, fine. You don't know that man. But then you done beat him up with the massage tool. Can he get something? You know, even massage his calves in the lingerie. How about that? He would like that. Oh, Camille don't like that man. You gonna wait 8 weeks to show me lingerie.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's a LONGOOOORAY, because honestly, the length of time it's taken to get to that particular place just to show a little bit of lingerie, but we out here putting avocados in my mouth and wanting to jump on my back and talking about how great, you know, the head game is. Like, for me, that tells me, again, I think it's a level of power. I think it's a level of control. I think Camille likes to be in control. I think she likes to dictate the pace of situations. And that's what I'm a little bit afraid of, because I thought you wanted a man that would be able to lead. The kind of men that you're talking about, I mean, quote unquote, they might have been bad men, but whatever, but he had those kind of energy and traits, right, that were probably a bit more assertive. But he's never going to have the opportunity to be able to be assertive because Camille's still holding all the cards in this situation and using sex to do it.
He's not getting anything. She ain't rocking the mic and she ain't presenting the lingerie. I mean, how are you planning on keeping this husband? I would love to ask Camille that. How are you planning on keeping this man and his interest? How? You ain't even rocking the mic. I could at least say I ain't gonna feel comfortable rocking the mic till 8 weeks, but not even the lingerie. Girl, come out the bathroom and surprise him. He should not be asking for it constantly. That's my problem too. He is specifically asking for it. He's basically begging. He's like, I put on these pajamas. This ain't how I rock. I'm doing what you need me to do. I'm showing up for you. He couldn't even see it out the bag this time. Dag. Thomas, y'all know I I don't rock with Thomas like that, but dang, I got the feel for the brother. I feel for him. Thomas.
I hear
Thomas, here's my suggestion, Thomas. Go buy the lingerie you want her to wear and ask her to model it for you. Let me see how she get out of that one.
we talking about Thomas here, Seaway, and the lingerie, and the fact that it's been a lingerie time since he's seen that lingerie. So
Y'all are
we think that
killing
Camille, we think that Camille's holding back for some reason. She's holding back the lingerie for some reason. What's your thoughts? Does Camille actually like Thomas? Is she using the lingerie to, delay, and keep him longer than intended, maybe?
Hey, to go to Africa. Hey, y'all. Camille is hard for me to judge because I feel like she gives nothing as a matter of course. Like even when all the ish went down in the house and she was just standing there like a statue, just like not giving us anything, not saying anything. She just doesn't give much. And so it's kind of hard to judge. But what I will say is I think Kojo, you're right that she's a control freak. She's trying to control this situation and control everything. And and she's trying to drip things to Thomas. On top of the fact that I think Camille also has like a very her vision of herself is not correct. Like I think her mind tells her that she's something that she's not. Cause like for me, for example, like I don't do lingerie, ain't never did lingerie, ain't never advertised that I did lingerie. I'm not promoting that because that's just not me. I think lace is itchy and I'm a boy shorts and that type of girl. You know what I'm saying? And so that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I think Lynn says she has masculine energy. She's a tomboy. I'm a bit of a tomboy. So I identify with that. As a tomboy growing up, I identify with that. I just don't identify with the saying that is there and it's not. Like if I tell you we finna give you some lingerie, like you gonna have to bring it out. Or stop advertising things that you're not doing. She advertised that she was a seductress and this and that. And then we come out and we find out that she's holding back sloppy toppy. I don't know. She just needs to be consistent. Camille's just not consistent. That's my opinion. Not everybody has to do the lingerie and the stuff. That may not be for everybody, but I just need her to be consistent. That's my thoughts on it. I don't know if she likes him or not. I don't know.
Latoya, what's your thoughts, man? People are not. Oh, you look beautiful, by the way, ladies. All of you look wonderful, and I love the look as well, Latoya too. Talk to me. Rocking the mic, not rocking the mic. Lingerie, no lingerie, and we're looking for a decision on decision day. So, talk to me. What's your thoughts?
I am embarrassed that she is still not servicing Thomas. Okay. I really hope that he is talking to his brother and his brother is looking at him with a side eye, like this ain't the one. Okay. And like, what's with I thought I was going to wear my lingerie. I thought I was going to get to do that. Like, what was stopping you? There's nothing stopping you from wearing your lingerie. You don't want to wear your lingerie for him. She doesn't really like him enough for them to like continue on this marriage. And so I really just want, Thomas to say no on decision day. Like, I really, really want him to say no. He deserves better than her. I think she has a lot of immaturity going on. And yeah, like all these excuses, it's just going to be one excuse after another. I feel like how you start is how you finish. And if this is how she's starting, it's only going to get worse from here. So she's a no-go for me. Tired of her. And I want him to kind of like say that. Like, I feel like what we're not seeing is him saying that to her so that we can really see how she feels. And that's why we're a little confused about her, because he's not really like saying like, no, I don't like this. I like this. This is what I like. This is what I want in my marriage. And so, yeah, so I'm done. I'm done with her. I really, 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 to the depths of my heart, hopes that he says no on the decision day.
I hear it. So, I mean, obviously, in that aspect, that we said that she might be a bit more controlling the reaction in terms of how she's dealing with Thomas. You know, is this something that can be? Do you feel like with the relationship that we've seen, is it something that can be fixed? Is it something that can change? Do you feel like Camille is ready to release the reins in order to allow there to be more freedom, potentially, quote unquote, to say, with Thomas? Because right now I don't feel like Thomas is leading anything. But yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think we've already seen Camille grow a whole lot, right? Like I've seen the way we were talking about Camille before. She's definitely has taken many strides. She's still annoying all of us. I'm not saying she's not, but she's definitely made strides. I do think Camille seems to be not only controlling a little bit, like she wants to be in control, not controlling, but she wants to be in control. Thank you. Wants to be in control. She also seems like the one, she got a lot of pride to her. And I think that she needs to get on the other side of decision day. I think we're going to see the real Camille on the other side of decision day. So I'm not going to write her off. I just feel like her, when you have like a lot of self-esteem to you, you're not going to be passing out sloppy toppy and lingerie and things like that. And a man can say no thanks at in a couple of weeks, which I respect. I get that. It's just the over promising and under delivering. That's where I'm at. I'm not here to tell a woman what she got to do, what she ain't got to do, what she got to wear, what she ain't got to wear. Just make sure your promises align. If you're just on that type of time where, look, until I know that we going all the way and this is a real marriage and this ain't for TV, we going to keep it, at a certain level. I respect that. But I think she needs to be clear because she's kind of dropping it along. You get what I'm saying?
Hear that? I don't know if you heard the question on Twitter. I was just asking, do we have hope that there's room for growth for Camille, to be more free and to be able to release more of the reins when it comes to Thomas and our relationship?
I feel like everything you just said, yes, but not with Thomas. I think with someone else. I think that she needs to have more people keep it real to her and tell her how she's acting. I think that she needs to just mature a little bit more. But I think as it relates to Thomas, she already has the upper hand in that relationship. And so she's not going to really listen to other people, I feel, when they tell her like, girl, look how you showing up, because she really doesn't think that anything is wrong. And again, what's bothering me is the like over promising and the under delivering. And we just know, and ladies, y'all can let me know in the chat, like, let's just keep it real. If you don't want to do that, it's because you don't kind of like the guy. So we need to stop acting like and just call a thing a thing. She does not like him enough to be able to continue on this marriage. And I just know for me, and I said this many times before, if this was the reverse, like, ladies, we're out. We're not in. And so, yeah, no, I don't think there's any hope for her now. But I think as she grows, as she matures, she will sort of like get it. It'll just be with another man.
Go for it, Elsie.
Go for what I done had my fill of Camille, and I hope Thomas has already, because it is wild work to just be promising. Then if she doesn't want to wear it on camera for the family, don't talk about it. Oh my gosh, stop talking about it. Just do it or don't. Don't tease the daggone man. That's about it.
Any other additions to Thomas and Camille that we feel that maybe that could help maybe in their situation? Someone said that she didn't and I think I do remember this as well. Thomas put his hand on her knee, but she did not reply in that instance as well. Like
he has I want to echo what Naomi said, but I'll get back to that in the comments. Okay. She has some type of emotional disconnect. Like she just doesn't, because I even seen the way that she responded to the pain of the other people in the household. It wasn't just Michelle, her not liking Michelle. It's like Alan, like when people are expressing pain or expressing emotion, she seems to have a disconnect. And I'm not going to put that on trauma because there's a lot of people who are like that, but she just seems to be emotionally withdrawn, a little awkward, very disconnected. And so I don't want to say that she just doesn't like Thomas. Because I think Camille is just kind of weird in general. She's just a bit of a strange bird. I can't really put my finger on it, but she's just not 100%, my cup of tea per se, because I don't really get her. I don't really understand her. And so I don't want to generalize what I'm seeing, because y'all know, if I got a summary, I'm going to give it to you and I'm going to say I'm right. I'm 100% right. Camille, I don't feel like I'm 100% know what's going on with her. I'm just to be fair, I don't. And so I'm going to leave room for the fact that she's trying to explore. She's trying to do what we encourage women to do, and be with a good guy, and focus on the things that he is doing right, and not focus on the things that he isn't doing right. Focus on the 80 and not the 20. Because to me, Camille and Thomas are 80-20. The things that Camille wants for her day-to-day life, the 80% he has. It's the 20% that I think maybe throwing her off a little bit. But that's everybody in life. That's everybody. You're not finding your 100. If somebody tells you they got 100, they're lying to you. It's 80-20 is generally in life. So I want to encourage her to focus. If she's hearing this, I hope you did. I hope you focus on the 80. And I hope you didn't let the 20 get in your way. And then continue to try to figure out how to emotionally attach and be vulnerable and be giving, and not be so selfish and not just take. Because a person like Thomas, I'll get off my high horse. He gonna give, and then he look like he gonna flip on you and say F you. So I just really hope that she practices some self-awareness and not just be taking. That would be my advice.
Go for it.
I want to add to it. So when we say there's something about her, not to judge, don't judge, but I mean, it's Champaign, Illinois. That's where she grew up. So it could be quite possible that she was like the it girl where she came from. It's not that many people in this town. Okay. And so I think a lot of things we don't talk about on social media right now, which I'm okay with, but I'll just acknowledge it, is that like, for the pretty girls, and I'm gonna just say pretty in her context, she's not an ugly girl, but pretty in her context, right? For pretty girls, you don't really have to try hard, right? Like we haven't had to try hard. And so there's not enough conversations about like how pretty women also sometimes have to be more emotionally available, have to sort of like put in the effort as well too. Like we're just so used to getting and like having the man dominate that like we don't do anything. And I feel like because Thomas is so reserved, it sort of like exposes the fact that she really has not had to show up emotionally with the man. It's just like it just exposes her. Like if she had a more dominant man, it just probably wouldn't even be necessary, which again hasn't really helped a lot of us pretty girls, right? So it's like now that we have to kind of like do our part as well too. It's like a muscle. And I know for a lot of pretty women out here, like it's hard, it's tough. It's like, man, I don't really want to do that. I ain't have to do this. I'm cute. I gotta, like he come to me, all this and that. But like, nah. In real valuable relationships, there's reciprocity there as well too. The guy deserves that as well. And so I just feel like maybe because she come from a small town, maybe she's a light-skinned pretty girl at her school, she probably got the guys or checking for her for whatever, for various reasons. She just hasn't had to put in that effort, but it's a new day. She cannot, like, there's a paradigm shift in just how we do relationships in general. So like, you can't just get away with just being pretty for too long. I don't care how nerdy, how corny the guy is. He is going to walk away from that if his needs are not met as well. And so I think a small portion of me think that that's what's going on as well with her. And so, yeah, she's definitely emotionally unavailable. She does not know how to tap in at all. And yeah, she needs that's the work that she needs to do, and that she'll be better for the next man.
Actually, Kojo, between this two conversation, between what LaToya just said and what she bounced off what I just said, I think we done figured it out. I think you know what? This conversation to really crack the case. I think Camille lacks substance. And I think when you're cute and you lack substance, that's how a lot of times you get cheated on and stuff, because you get the person because you're cute, but then they get with you. They like, you ain't even talk about nothing. You ain't got nothing to say. You ain't got nothing to add. You're just there. And I think Camille, I do think Thomas's kind of dryness, very meekness, very chillness is exposing the fact that Camille just lacks that extra gear. And so maybe this will be good for her. Again, like I said, focus on that 80 and also make sure you're giving 80. Get to your next gear. Give us something, you know? And hopefully Thomas continues to try to give us something too, because he don't be giving us much either, to be honest, TBH. But yeah, there we go. I think we done figured it out.
Elsa says she got a different point of view. Go for it, Elsa.
We've been knowing that from the JCPenney catalog.
Period.
We've been
That's
knowing
what I
that.
was about to say.
Y'all been saying it. Y'all been saying it.
Period.
But we knew that, but I think we've been focused on the wrong thing. I think it's very easy to say she doesn't like him, or he don't like her, or he see. I think what we just did is expound on the fact that it's really more about her and her issues and how she views herself and what she's giving than it is about Thomas. Because if Camille keeps lacking substance, she could go to the bad boy next, and he's just going to get rid of her because she's not giving nothing. She's not giving us nothing.
She giving us earrings after servicing, as Latoya said earlier.
Ciao. And that attire, I was talking about the wrap dresses on Ready to Love. I'm going to bring them back here. Camille's attire, this is a side note, is aging her horribly. These wrap dresses, these matching, these matching sets. Who is dressed? The attire is horrible.
Yeah, because we said we're gonna be we're gonna be
talking about looks. Talk about the attire.
Yeah,
the attire can change. Looks cannot change for the most part, but the attire is aging her. And again, that's also going with the disconnect. You say you a hot boy, you a hot girl, but the attire is giving auntie. Yeah, anyway.
She just don't give sexy. We said this a long time ago as well too. There's just some people who got it and just some people who don't. You know, like there's categories of pretty, sexy, beautiful, gorgeous. Like there's levels to this. She's not at that level of sexy. And even if she was, because sexy is also an energy. It's not just how you look, you know, and she just don't give that.
And there's a time for that. Someone says there ain't nothing wrong with wrap dresses. No, you wear your wrap dresses. Like I just went to go see the Justice speak yesterday at her book thing. That's what I wear my wrap dress to. That's what I wear my tweed dress to with my tights. That's where you get wrap dress Seaway, right? At that type of event, you gonna get wrap dress. You gonna get tights. You gonna get a little pointed toe heels. You gonna get some
statement necklace.
Hair. Yeah, you might even get a statement necklace. You're gonna get some pearls on the ear. That's when you give that. Okay.
Yeah.
But when I'm trying to give she stepped out, I'm not giving wrap dress. That's not the time.
Charge, you know what I'm saying? Wrap dress.
Her husband is 10 years older than her, so maybe she's giving.
Give us wrap dress for that tea, or you can give us a little wrap dress for tea. I'm just saying.
I'll be cool with just a little bronzer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Kiel, whatever. You wear your wrap dress, honey, wherever you want to wear. And let it age you and put you whatever age range you wanted to put you at, okay? You ain't gotta take my advice. That's the thing. So many y'all girls are like, we wear what you want to wear what you want to wear. And when people say you look 10 years older, then don't be mad at that. It's a free country. Put your wrap dress on, and if you 35 and they think you 45, then that's cool. That's cool. It'd be the same people mad that everybody think they 10 years older than they are. Talk about why everybody keep thinking I'm 45. I wonder why. The kitten heels and the wrap dress probably gave it away. I wonder why. Lord, I'm done.
There's no excuses. You can go into these stores. You can go to Acura. They have these people who are in fashion school who will dress you. I was letting Acura dress me over 10 years ago when I was in Chicago. She can go to Nordstrom. Those people are very excited to help you style and get your wardrobe together. There really aren't any excuses. She just doesn't really think. I don't think she thinks she needs to.
Oh yeah, and 45 is not old, y'all. I'm just saying if you're 35 and they're saying you're 45, yeah, 45 ain't old. Before y'all be in the comments saying that, I'm not calling 45 old. I promise y'all. I swear I'm not. I swear I'm not.
So we've reached the 30-minute mark, which means everybody, we're going to go to members only in the chat. We're in the members only chat. When y'all were blessed in the men yesterday, y'all wanted to see Seaway. Now you got Seaway. Don't be complaining about Seaway now. Y'all going to have to handle. Listen, we're here in the members chat. It's about to go to members only in the chat. If you're not a member, listen, you better subscribe first and foremost. You better like the video. You better share it. But you better also become a member because you won't be able to talk in the chat. We are going to be talking about the rest of the couples on this show, but I think we did a great job to actually Thomas and Camille, and we dissected different parts which I think are really important. We came to a really good conclusion about maybe her needing to kind of be a bit more emotionally connected, for her to also as well be in a space where she can actually begin to open up a bit more, be more vulnerable as well. So, we love to break people down and break the couples down in different places as well. So we're going to talk about obviously Juan and Karla in a second or two. But before we do, make sure you guys have joined the membership because it's about to go members only for you guys as well.
All the haters. The haters ain't going to be able to comment because they ain't going to pay the $1. I was just having fun. The haters gonna go away because they ain't gonna pay $1.
Leave them alone, Seaway.
Somebody pay for their membership so they can be hating.
Leave them alone, Seaway. Leave them alone. Be nice.
I don't want them to go. I don't want them to go. You the one not being nice. You about to go to members only so they can't talk.
I'm going members only. Yeah, I'm going members only. Listen, we were getting slaughtered yesterday when y'all were talking about how we were doing. They need to get on y'all, so I don't really mind. Listen, shout out to True. Oh, shout out to True Love. They said true love. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. We thank you very much. Let me just do it.
Yes, the new king.
That's right. You sending them 10 gifters out here. We appreciate you, sis. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Shout out to Phil as well, who also gave 5 as well.
Yes, the new king.
Yeah, y'all gonna get bored of that sound very soon. Watch, but we appreciate Phil for that, for the 5 as well. Thank you very much. Shout out to YSA who became a member, and Lynn as well who also became a member as well. I know more of you will be joining the memberships as well as we go. Shout out to Black, Pink Me. It's appreciated. Much love, much appreciation as well. Okay, listen. Let's get into the rest of the show. Let's talk about some of the other couples. We spoke about Thomas and Camille, which I really appreciate. Broke it down all the way. But there's obviously another couple who I personally think have sailed through. I think they haven't lied to themselves, but they've lied to us, right? And I don't think that's a bad thing per se. They're doing what they need to do, okay? They're doing what they must fulfill the contract, so I'm not going to get mad at it. But there ain't no way they're going to tell me that either of them were trying here for a very long time. Now, maybe they tried at the beginning, but definitely for the past few weeks, it has been business as usual. It's been BAU, and I'm seeing Camille shooting hoops with Karla too, them going toe-to-toe, doing PIG. That's about as spicy I was going to get for Karla and Juan. Okay, that's as spicy I was going to get for that too, right there. I want to know what you guys and ladies' perspective is on Juan and Karla in this space, because obviously some people are saying obviously Karla was MVP on this episode as well. I thought she was smiling a little bit too much. I can't lie to you. I thought she was smiling a little bit too much. She seemed a little bit too excited to be telling people about themselves. But I'm just saying, that's just me personally. You know what I mean? But I guess you might disagree. What's your ladies and gents' perspective? Yes, Siwa, you already got your mic open, so go for it.
Oh, I didn't even know my mic was open for me talking trash earlier.
That's what you be getting.
I mean, Juan and Karla have done what everybody has asked of them. They have kept it cute. They participated, right? They weren't mean because, everybody's so mad at Michelle for being quote unquote mean, right? They've been respectful and friends, and they've been liars. No, I'm not even going to call Karla a liar. I mean, Juan is just living a lie. He's been living a lie. As far as, I'm not going to go into what I've said other weeks past. I've said that already. But I mean, as far as like their authenticity to us, it's been very, very surface level, and they've been, friends, I guess. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I just feel like they haven't been really, you know how like a normal seasons when you float in this type of friend zone, the experts kind of like push you to address what it is. It seems like because Emem and Ike were so chaotic, and then we had the cheating gate and everything else. Did y'all feel like they never even pushed them to even address the fact that they're going nowhere? Is it just me? Because normally, like, you don't get a chance to be on autopilot like this on maps. Like, they make you say why. And to me, Juan owed Karla, but I guess she didn't ask, and the viewers a real explanation as to what his problem is. And to me, I feel like not only has he not been pushed to address that, he's even had the audacity to be given advice as if he's not living a complete lie. He's completely avoidant, completely detached, and not really giving Karla nothing. And I feel like Karla also got robbed from this experience, because if she had a man that was really interested, she would have been fine. But Juan is doing Juan. So that's really all I can say that's nice. I'm not trying to be not nice, because I feel like at the end of the day, they're not hurting nobody, I guess, as long as they're cool with it. But they definitely didn't give this process any real authenticity.
I want to step in. So, Koja, when you first started, you said something like you felt like she was doing too much, right? But no, I just think Karla is stepping into her profession, right? She what I've been saying, like, this is Karla's lane, okay? Every week she shows us that she is fit for this kind of work, okay? And so, because obviously you don't have a respect for it as much yet, you're not on board, she exhibits this, and she did in this episode as she related to, as she was talking about the mess with Madison and David. But that's just that. Why they are coasting through, to me, is because I feel like there are certain people you play with and there are certain people you don't. Karla has shown, don't play with me. Do not try to sit me down and try to ever talk about like me and Juan being an option. Okay. I know my value, it's high. They put a certain kind of person on this show. And I know we can say whatever we want to say about Karla, but Karla is very much she's a confident woman. She knows who she is and she knows her value. I think they wasn't going to be able to get past her. And that's why they probably was like, let's go ahead and leave that alone. That's just what I think. Okay. Karla was MVP for me. I know that I look, she got the classes going. If that was my thing, I might entertain it, because she has exhibited really great behavior in terms of her wellness, her respect for herself, all of it. And they know that they can't get past her. If I'm lying, I'm flying. It's a certain kind of person they get out of here. There's a certain kind of person they put on this show, and Karla was not the one. She does not fit the mold. As far as Juan, I just don't care. I think he kind of like shown what it is that he wants, and he's not willing to budge on it. I think someone even said on X while I was live tweeting, like, he always trying to have a plan with everybody. Like, I think he's just like easy to read as a book, and he's not also willing to budge as well. So like, what are we here to talk about? So they are coasting. I think that if anything, Karla has introduced him to edibles so that he can possibly relax a little bit. But other than that, like, let's just get this over with and get back to our lives. That's what I think about them.
Elsa, what's your thoughts on this? You know, Karla, Juan, you know, I think Sue made a really great point. I actually didn't even think about it, that the experts have not pressed them on the lack of physical intimacy. Pascal hasn't even dropped the whole bar, like, y'all ain't being physical. Like, you know, every season is very hot on the physicality. But what's your thoughts, Elsa?
They're not pressuring them, I think, because we're seeing the yellow book of Karla's friends going through this. So it's looking like they're trying, you know, it's looking like they're doing something. But yeah, the experts have been hands off for them. It's kind of off for me. And I'm like, I'm sorry. They need you as much as everybody else needed you, if not more. I think, as I said before, Karla and Juan have gotten an agreement that, hey, this ain't it. It ain't gonna be it, but we can be friendly and have a good time. So again, this couple, while they're not telling us, we know as lies that, this gonna make it past 8 weeks. It didn't make it past 8 weeks. They're lucky they make 8 hours of filming. But at least they'll be friendly after this. They'll be able to laugh and talk. Juan should be able to go by her parents and get a plate. Karla is not rocking the boat because she need a place to stay. Where is Phil? We need that sound bite from Phil. Karla ain't got no job. Karla ain't got no place to stay. And Karla ain't got no plan. So again, the only plan I can see is Karla just not rocking the boat. She already told Juan, I feel so safe in such a big house. That's the big house she wants. So she just looking for a roommate. And Juan, if we cool and we chill, could I do here in your bathroom? Okay? Can I just do that? But other than that, my head ain't in the clouds with Karla. She is keeping out of everybody's mess, as she should. She is just like, hey, stuff happened last night. I don't know what happened. Fill me in. And you know what? She'll honestly tell you, you grimy. I don't like that, but she's not chastising with it. But I don't think Karla packed enough sage or crystals for all that happened at that retreat.
Sean, obviously we're talking about your favorite. She doesn't have a job, no car, no place to stay, but she does have a wonderful, beautiful spa, and the hair was looking amazing as well. But we have barely seen any connection between Juan and Karla. What's really going on?
What's going on is you going to jack Juan's name up, Juan's name up. That's
At this
what's
point, he's
going
Quan
on.
to me.
Juan. I love it. Well, listen, I'm not going to take too much Carla slander tonight. And I just want to say shout out to the impromptu ladies panel. I was enjoying listening to you guys, share your perspectives on Camille and Thomas, the only couple that has a chance to make it to decision day with a yes. So, I just want to acknowledge that. But yeah, no, I'm not gonna take too much Carla slander, Elsa. I'm gonna give you grace because I do have a slight migraine from all the tussling I did yesterday with Kojo and the like. So I'm on a very, very mellow mode. So Kojo, please don't try to rile me up. This isn't the day. You'll get cussed and then blocked and then I'll leave.
He didn't tell me not to rile him up,
I'm
so I'm
threatening
free
you
game.
with I'm threatening you probably with all the things you'll love anyway. So I don't know why I just said all of that. So there we go. Sorry, I just ignore everything I said. Doesn't matter.
Right,
Um
because you done got him going. You about to do
Now
the
he's gonna
opposite.
try to get me to that point. He's like, perfect. I have a baseline to agitate him.
He ain't told me not to agitate him.
Oh, and you too. Oh gosh, I forgot I got you too because you love to push a button.
And
But
Easton on his way, so you better
oh,
take that Excedrin now on a
yeah,
full stomach, so you don't end
Easton
up
will
like
find the most esoteric. This is a SAT word for y'all. The most esoteric point, and he's going to ride that point right on home until the cows get back. So, whew, we got all of our faves in one en route. But nevertheless, I love Carla. I love her energy. And I wouldn't mind if she didn't have a job and if she didn't have a plan and she didn't have a home because she's going to make a house a home, okay? And she brings that energy. She brings truthness, authenticity. Uh, you know, Unfortunately, Juan doesn't appreciate her, does not want her, and I guess that's his right because I do feel a little bad that he got castigated and I played a role in that last week. If he don't like her, he don't like her. He does come off disingenuous a little to me. I still do think he has a level of toxic positivity where no matter what's going on, he always wants to tell you the sun's going to shine. And that comes off as somebody just telling the person to ignore their emotions. Although, I will say this episode, he finally got there. Once he got through all the platitudes and offering David coffee, he did give some great advice to him. And two, like Carla, he gave some great advice and he created a nice boundary telling David, listen, I don't know if I can trust you around the friend group. I think you've got to work on earning your trust back because you know you did some really not so good things. And David packed up his high ponytail and his Fraggle Rock hair, And he was like, all right, I'm going to have to go. So maybe Juan's delivery was good because it wasn't confrontational and it didn't make David defensive. He was like, listen, I got to hear it because this guy is always throwing positivity at me, but he, held me accountable this time. So I just need to pack my stuff on up and just mosey on along.
Yeah, I definitely hear that. But obviously, so a question, obviously, then, because again, I want to go back to Siwa's point, which is really, I think, again, it's just touching me. That sounds wrong, but yeah, it's speaking to me because, the experts didn't push further. What is the reason behind them not pushing further? Like they pushed Emem into maybe because Emem was probably showed a bit more enthusiasm, but they pushed more of the Emem and Akechi situation, even though Akechi was trying to run away to Houston. So what is the reason why we think that Juan and Karla they ain't been pushing on Juan? What's going on? Why they ain't pushing on Juan and Karla to get back together and get closer? You know what I'm saying? She maybe she needs a LONGOOOORAY. I don't know, but what's your thoughts on that? Yes, Latoya, you laughing at me? Listen, Quan gonna get it.
I'm sorry. The way this name, okay? The way now he was Jawan, now you was right for a few weeks. You said Juan, now it's Quan. Like, what language is this? But we don't know why the experts didn't press. They wasn't even around, okay? The only one who was around was Dr. Pia because she lives in Chicago. I don't think we're going to get that question answered. If anything, the experts showed themselves to be the laziest this time around, okay? Like, they really just, like, dropped the ball on all the couples. And I think maybe reason why they pressed more is because she was, like, still really hopeful. I think Juan and Karla kind of I don't want to use the word gave up, but just like knew it wasn't going to work. Like once she put his stuff in a garbage bag or something like that at the honeymoon or something. But like I think the experts were around less than 5 times, like the whole season in terms of like Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal. And so I don't know if we're going to get that question answered. I hope maybe at the reunion, but they didn't care. They just didn't care this season in general.
Yeah, it seemed like once they found out that they weren't going to turn on each other, and once they found out that they were going to have some type of amicable relationship, they didn't decide to dig deeper into like the bigger issues. And then they decided to focus on relationships that were going nowhere. Like David and Michelle were going nowhere. Ike and Emem were going nowhere, but we spent all this time. Versus Juan and Karla, low key have so many things in common that are like the real foundation of a really good relationship. And that's not to say that it had to work, but the way their relationship blossomed into something I think was very nice to watch on the screen, even as friends, the fact that that wasn't talked about more as like, hey, you guys are really close. Like you guys have a lot of mutual respect. You guys have everything that you need for a good foundation for a relationship. Can we explore why it's not working? Because it's left us to make all these assumptions. Oh, he don't like her because Karla ain't got no job, no house. Or he don't like her because he likes white women. Or he don't like her because he how you doing? It's all these theories, but we don't know. Like we honestly, at the end of the day, we don't know because it wasn't pushed. So it's unfortunate.
I think they did push. They done tried with that lady coming in with that slip on and showing her good tidbits all over the place, trying to touch him up with roses and things, and that went nowhere. I mean, I think that they don't want to border on creepy because they've talked about intimacy. Karla has said, "Hey, listen, I'm open to it." But Juan doesn't. He flat out said, "I'm not attracted to her," like within the first couple of episodes. So he says what it is. He has created a boundary with her. Carla's like, I see what y'all did with MM and Ike, so you ain't fitting to let me out here looking crazy while Dr. Pia plants seeds of SA. She said, nah, Karla is intuitive. I'm telling you, some of y'all be sleeping on Karla. Karla got sense for days, okay? She may not have pocket sense according to some of y'all, and I doubt, I think she might even have that. But nevertheless, she got, sense, and she sees enough forward. She done flipped a couple tarot cards on the table, and she was like, I see what the future will look like if I keep pushing this button. I'm making myself available. She said it on the after party, which I love. I love when women are confident like that. She was like, if a man wants me, he's going to come to me. He's going to retrieve me. Abso-freaking-lutely. There's no need to keep throwing yourself and making yourself available and making advances because he don't want you. Juan doesn't want her for whatever reason. And I think she knows, like men know, when we don't want a woman, there ain't nothing you're going to do that's going to change that. Women probably have a lot more flexibility in that way to ebb and flow in certain instances. Men, it's kind of immovable. If we don't like you, if we don't feel it, it's just nothing that's going to do that's going to change it. You try to force it, and you're just going to get a very angry version of that man.
But Sean, but just to respond to that, I don't think anybody thinks Karla could have did anything else. I think the difference is when Michelle said that she wasn't attracted to David, they pushed as to why. What's the reason? What's the root behind it? What I noticed is that Juan just got away with saying he's not attracted. Where's the follow-up? Did we miss the follow-up? To me, they pushed Michelle every episode to explain why she's not attracted to David. And then she finally said because he broke and he's a basement dweller and he don't got no class. And then everybody says she mean. Okay, but Juan, they never pushed him. So that's my thing. What was the reason?
Everybody else was in more of a crisis, so they leave, students to do homework on their own. That could be the only other reason. But yes, maybe they have done it and we just haven't seen the footage. Because I'm not going to say that they only do it for a few when they have shown us in the show previously that they have been consistent. What they do for one couple, every couple gets a visit. So I don't know why production is not showing us those visits and instead showing us the blurred out visits that we really don't need to see. It was kind of like, let's give Karla's friends and their businesses an opportunity to shine on the show. That's what it was given. But maybe there was nothing there that they wanted to put, but that I'll blame production. I think we just didn't see it.
I guess because Karla's objectively attractive. So when you come out and say she's not attracted, I'm not attracted to her. When someone is objectively attractive, to me that would have been the easiest segue to a why. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Or they know they fired Seaway. They know they fired. They're going to another channel. And it's going to be new experts, so why should I put in an effort?
Well, I can insert the patriarchy in here if you want me to, because
insert Sean.
They don't typically push men like that. Generally, we don't see them dragging men. I mean, they may ask a little, but they don't. And I don't think they want a repeat of a Paige and Chris because they got killed with that. Although that was probably more Chris and less of the experts, but they still were part of it. So I don't think they typically are set up to push men to be in relationships they don't want to be in. They're more likely to push a woman. And generally, that's just kind of how it goes. Like, a woman should be more than happy to take on a husband. You should be bending and twisting yourself into a pretzel to like the man. Whereas men, if he's just not attractive, we get it, we understand. Just like how Ike got a way more grace than he should have. I think it might be a little patriarchy in there. I'm sorry.
Whole lot of patriarchy.
Woo! That's a celebration. We got El Cid to sign on with the patriarchy. Woo!
No. I'm just agreeing with your sentiment, Sean, that Ike didn't get as much smoke as he deserved.
I'm just excited.
He said he's gonna take it at Windsor when he said.
That's all. That's all, baby girl. I'm just excited about that moment. I'm just enjoying my win. Please let me have it.
Okay, the win with some Excedrin. Okay.
Everybody's asking for Ethan. Is Ethan even backstage? He's not here yet.
He been backstage,
I've
but
been ready.
Kojo left him in purgatory.
I've been ready. I was clocking it.
Kojo is petty, and he will let you show up late to his live. He gonna make you sit backstage.
Oh.
He even talk to you in the corner. He'll talk you through it. Like, hey, I see you. Just, let me know when you're ready. I'm back here. I'm ready.
Nah,
Make you sit for a little bit
Joga did
longer.
tell
All
me
right,
earlier.
here you go.
I need y'all to leave. I need y'all to leave talking you through it in this month. I don't want to hear that after this
You want me
month.
to talk through it? You don't want me to talk through it? No.
I just don't want to hear it. That's too much of it. We've been.
So then give us another word.
I never
Give us
got
another
it.
word.
I never even
What's
got it.
It's from Shannon Sharp when he was talking her through it.
Yeah.
And because now
Ow.
every time somebody says it, I think of my Michelle, and I get
Yeah.
sick. And so that's why I want people to stop saying it, because I keep thinking of that, and it's making me sick.
Well, let me take a note out of Kojo's book. I gotta say, Easton, you're looking very sharp today, brother. You showed up looking sharp. You got the nice haircut showing through.
Moisturize.
Nice little
ready.
clothes
I
going
said, we
on.
ready tonight.
You glowing.
He said, "Nana."
Let me
We're
give you
ready.
some flowers.
I appreciate it.
Give
I
those
appreciate it.
myself.
We do what we can. We do what we can.
Sean, it's interesting. We talk about a patriarchy. You didn't have this much glow talk for the ladies when you came onto the panel, but Easton comes on and
Must have
he's
been
all
misogyny.
glowing. Okay, I see it.
Man, I got on my work
I
makeup and everything.
didn't acknowledge the ladies on their looks. I acknowledged you for your wit, your brain, and the ability to carry through on the panel and represent the ladies. So,
Crawling out, Sean. You're
I-
crawling out the hole. You ain't out yet, but you're crawling.
God
Better block that.
I'm trying. Work with me.
Man, Sean to be out here. I hear you, Sean. I hear you. No. Yeah, I hear you. I do hear what you're saying. I mean, they didn't give us much smoke to Ike. I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's patriarchy, but I definitely do believe that they don't push as much with the men, because I think because men don't shift on physical attraction. You're wasting your time trying to push a man to physical attraction. He doesn't change. You know what I mean? But the women keep telling us they can move their scale on attraction. They can grow in it. So I don't believe they really can like that. To be honest, I think that's a little cap, a little bit. I think that's like, they acting like the elastic band can stretch very far. But Jeff D was pushed. Yeah, do you know what? Jeff D is a unique individual. There are always exceptions to the rule. Most of us cannot be pushed. I can tell you this now. If you push me, I might do 1 or 2 years. I'm going to cheat probably. I'll do something stupid later on, because I'm just not invested like that. I want to be attracted. That's my thing. But maybe I need to grow up a little bit. Who knows? Yes, Latoya, go for it.
Are we talking about Jeff D from like way back in the day?
Yeah. The one
that
didn't he cheat?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, he still be trying to stay in this marriage, like to this day.
He got a safety net. That's why.
You remember they saw that apartment and it was like $400 a month? I can't.
Cheaper to keep her. Cheaper to keep her.
He don't have a kid, so he was like, let me be serious about his life.
Well, he got stuck, is what I really think will happen.
He got caught. That's what happened. I know he still blames experts, but all jokes aside, we are talking obviously about Juan and Karla, and obviously their situation. I was just asking the panel actually why the experts did not push more on Juan, because not both on Juan and Karla, to be honest, because even if they had pressurized Karla to say an answer, would have had to push on Juan. You know what I'm saying to you? Juan would have to give an answer eventually. If Karla ends up saying, "Well, I've tried," and he ain't budging, then it's like, well, Juan, what's going on? She told us that she's trying. What's really going on? Why aren't you pushing further? That's what I was asking the panel, Easton. I don't even want to answer that question as to why experts are not pushing on that,
It's unfortunate that they didn't push on it more, because again, they were a relationship that could have used that. I think Juan could have been held a little bit more accountable, although he did operate out of the friendship zone with Karla for majority of their relationship. And like I wholeheartedly believe that he was turned off not by her lack of job or passion or whatever it may be. It was when they were in that bus ride together with all the other couples, and she was talking about all the intimacy and the magic wand and all the wand that she got a stick here, and that's what turned him off. I'm telling you, nobody wants to be around your significant other and they that loosey goosey with intimacy talk, and not only that, but you just like with new people and stuff like that. So they were friends. The reason why I don't think that the experts were really pushing on them too hard is because they realized very early on that he had his attractiveness level with Karla had diminished, and it was nothing fruitful coming from that relationship. It didn't give me a relationship that they wanted to spend a lot of time on, as well as I think that there's some budgetary issues. They weren't on any of the graphics, the experts this season, the transition over to Peacock. It just seems like the experts were real lackluster this season, and maybe it's because they are lacking the funds to do their job properly, but it just seemed like, hey, if you gonna call us for stuff, you better be some big issues. It better be David, Madison, Alan, and Madison, David and Michelle, and Emem and Casey type levels of stuff. Because I even feel like some of the stuff that they were telling Camille and Thomas, like, granted, it was a little bit, there's a little bit more accountability held on their end. They seem like they missed the mark all the time. Consistently with this group of contestants or people in relationships.
Now that's an interesting take. I think about a man being turned off because she was a little bit. I mean, she was overtly sexual, and I do understand that, right? In aspects of being turned off, but that doesn't turn off your attraction. You know what I mean? Because I remember this. I know this when I was young, though. I remember a girl did a similar thing where she started speaking very overtly sexual. I was like, damn, but she was still sexy. I just started turned off the relationship aspect. But and then when I got to know her, I was like, oh, I understand where you're coming from now. So I saw in a different light. But these two got put into a relationship and into a marriage situation. So if you thought it was loosey goosey, I hear it. But there was weeks going on where you're gonna understand more about that person and where they're actually coming from. So why isn't there more of a push from Juan to kind of really try and explore that aspect? Why are the experts not pushing them to be like, okay, hold on a minute, she said that comment, let's address that. What's really affecting you, Juan, about the fact that she said those things? And is there a chance that we can reconcile the relationship? I just feel like they spared them. I honestly do feel like they spared them because y'all were dragging Emem and Akechi, which I think it was right to do. And we've dragged David and Michelle, which I think they're right to do. We've dragged Alan and Madison, which are right to do. But we're not dragging Juan and Karla. And I don't care if they made a pact. It's the fact that they made a pact, and you know that they're not even trying because he keeps saying whatever he's saying. Juan will be saying about whatever, we had a great moment, but then up until now, no sex. And Pascal is infamous for pushing, haven't you had sex? And he didn't do it once with them. I think he even did it with Emem and Akechi, but he ain't do it with Juan and Karla. I find that a little bit some way. You know what I'm saying? That's giving a little racism, but I didn't want to say that word. It might be, but it might just be the fact that they got bamboozled. Who knows? What's you guys, ladies' thoughts on that aspect? You know what I mean? As I've mentioned that aspect about Juan and Karla and maybe some of those extra stuff. Yes, Sid.
I'm not putting too much stock in it because I think they just cut it out for the other drama. We've seen in seasons past that they have consistently gone to every single couple with a visit on the same day on the same episodes. These episodes were long. With the after party, they were long. I think they just cut it out because there was nothing there. There was nothing to build on. So it's like, why would we push them and, they're going to skate around saying, oh, we'll get there, or whatever. I just think we didn't see it. And they cut it out for good reason. I don't think we would have learned a whole lot from this. But why they cut it out? Yes, true. They should have had at least give us a snippet, or at least them talking about, we had a meeting with Pastor Cal, blah, 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 something like that. But they leave them on their own. I think that it's not only, I agree with Easton in this point. Yes, it was the talking there. It was also on the honeymoon. You're going to learn about Karla. Nobody ain't going to forget about Karla. That too kind of pushed Juan, even from their photo shoot from the honeymoon. Juan was like, yeah, whatever. So in that instance, I would be like, okay, if y'all don't see each other being together, I don't think they should push it, and they didn't push it. So pact or whatever, they show how people can get along in this process, make it to 8 weeks, and still be friendly at the end.
You guys remember the scene where they were taking pictures on the honeymoon and Karla was just not into it? Like, once Juan had disappointed her and didn't really show up for her, she was just kind of out of it, to the point where the photo shoot Like they got one good picture in, but like that was it. Why y'all looking like that? Do y'all not remember that scene?
Revisionist
But she
history.
said Juan pulled her through that. She
Yeah,
said it.
but what I'm trying to note is that still from her body language, it wasn't given like I'm recovered and I'm starting over. It just wasn't.
Latoya love her some Karla. She gonna get that girl. She gonna get that girl a plan. She love that girl Karla. That's what we can say today.
We all do.
Not all of us.
I'm just saying.
Not all of us.
I just, the point I'm trying to make is like, do you really want to sit in the room with Karla and try to convince her to be different than what she showed us at the honeymoon? No. Y'all can respond. It's fine. I'll put it on mute. Talk.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. You know, I'm not going to say much that's going to counter what you're saying. I will say somebody put this in the chat, and I tend to agree. I think as much as Juan has that toxic positivity that agitates me sometimes, I think he's been nothing but kind to Karla. You know, I think he's shown, like, if you're not interested, how you still can treat her with respect and still be nice, you know, and not like overtly disrespectful. You know, I think we got to give the brother kudos for that. He hasn't tried to, you know, say wild things about her. He's not, you know, getting on the phone with the experts, you know, carrying on. So, you know, we can give him a little bit of flowers for you know, for being a good solid person.
I also like to point out that maybe Karla understands that she's not the girl that Juan wants. And when I say that, she does. Juan wants a woman with a job. Juan wants a woman with a job who's going to assist him in, or even just assist him in what he's going to do. She had no plan, no job, no place to stay. That's not what Juan wants. And so Karla knew that. Karla had that intuition. That's what we call it. That intuition that told her that Juan doesn't want this. Nothing's going to change from that. And she's not going to develop that, I guess, that willpower, that want to do those things at this point in her life. I don't think a lot of people are kind of stuck in their ways. Everybody has a growth mindset, but I don't think that you just kind of get that level of ambition and passion for something later on in life, especially something that's very traditional like Juan. Karla, free spirit. We love her. I'll give her this. You know, I was saying some mean things. She gives great advice. She's definitely a friend that you want to have in your corner, but she's not the friend that you want giving you financial advice, where to buy an apartment at. Anything like
Okay, so she's not perfect at everything, but like, what's the point? You give it like what is the point in saying that? Like she
wasn't a good fit for Juan. That's what that's what Juan wants.
I get it ain't about her not having a job and all these other things, okay? Because he was over her before that. It's about the fact that like Juan, similar to Ike, wants him to be centered in that relationship, and she is not going to do that. She's not going to center him, and so it's more than just. And he don't want her to just have a job. He wants her to be a tool. No. She ain't gonna do that either.
Latoya, just for 1 second, and I don't want to overstep, but can we just celebrate the fact that Easton gave Karla a compliment?
Okay, let's do
and
it.
said that he would even want Karla as a friend. Like that's, you know what we've been battling with these last few weeks. Can we just, before we get him, you gather him up if you gotta, but let's just celebrate that moment, because that was a genuine compliment in there, and we ain't seen that for Karla in quite some time.
Easton, congrats, Easton.
Stop patronizing me. Stop patronizing me.
Yay,
no, I'm not. I'm being genuine, bro. I'm trying.
I feel like it's nice coming from Sean, but see where we was here. We was locked in. Now we not.
But you know what's interesting though, how she'll be a good friend though, but she wouldn't be.
I didn't say yay. I'm just saying yay, Easton. I appreciate progress.
She would make a great friend, but they don't make you a great romantic partner. a lot of people make great friends, and maybe that's why we have so much disconnect in the world today, is that we're better as friends. You have better qualities that are friend-like, but in terms of like making the sacrifices and the compromises to either elevate your skill set or even compromise some of your expectations, we kind of lack that. And maybe that's with Karla. She lacks the ambition or the want to facilitate what maybe Juan wants. And I think that Juan, in the same breath, he needs to be a little bit less of a, I won't say a slave master, but that man, he wants his wife to be a helpmate. And I'm like, she ain't got to be all the way a helpmate. She could be assistant. You can pour her dreams a little bit, Juan. But in my vantage point is that Karla doesn't have a plan that she can stick to. She doesn't have a pot to piss in. She ain't got a place to put the hair in the garbage. She don't got a garbage bin. What are we gonna do? What can we do with that? She ain't got a plug to plug in her iron. She ain't got none of that. She can't make no money. Why can't work that? Oh man. I'm just saying that,
you see why I didn't plug them for that moment. That's why I didn't do it, because like this is where we are. Okay.
I hate you, Latoya.
Easton,
I'm sorry.
Easton, when you're looking for a girl, are you looking for her pot and are you looking for her funds?
Personally, me, I definitely do. I don't want my finances to be too much of a burden. I don't want to have too much of the power in the relationship, and I don't want to be that much of a I'll say a benevolent patriarch. So that's what I do. I want my woman, my significant other, to have a job, to be financially available, and have some things around working for her, so she doesn't see me and be like, oh, he's taking over and he's controlling everything and he's financially abusive.
So you're doing it for her. This is
trying to protect you.
You're looking out for her. Okay.
I'm looking out for you.
I respect that.
Got it. Not your
man thinks.
But please believe.
The gaslight of all.
Yeah. First, I will be.
You can't win when you answer this question anyway. You can't win because the average man can't pay all the bills. I just had a conversation on another panel. The average man can't pay all the bills. You can't win this conversation because it will sound like if you say I need someone to help me, now you'll sound like a 50-50 warrior when really all you're saying is I can't afford to pay everybody's bills. And that's the reality of the fact that much average person can't.
50-50 dude.
I'm not saying you what. I'm not
I
saying
didn't say you're a 50-50.
You sound like it.
I was just trying to figure out like what you're looking for in a woman, because you're talking a lot about her pots, her pans, and Phil, when he be up here talking about her pots and her pans, I'm trying to figure out, is that something big for you that you're looking for?
Wait, y'all, there's a lid for every pot on pan, okay? So if people wish to be 50-50, that's on them. Leave it alone. That's for them.
Yeah.
We find the lid for the pot we seeking. That's it.
For sure. But no, I don't know. It's not, in my opinion, I just think that if you're thinking about long term, I don't want to build with somebody who doesn't like take a significant amount of like importance in like financial education, having their own. Again, I pay everything. And please believe everything good around here.
So you just want her to have her spending change?
No. Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
or at least know how to manage money. At least know how to manage money.
As a guy, I think you're more scared now, especially as you're like getting closer to marrying somebody, and with them being married at first sight, is this somebody, if things were down, could they hold things together? Karla can't. And if I'm Juan, I've seen my mother do that. Again, didn't his dad have cancer? Right? Somebody had cancer. His dad had cancer. His mama held it down. They done went to Colombia and he got kidnapped and all this other stuff. He'd seen a woman who was strong, courageous, brilliant, hold things down while he wasn't down. So in his mind, he wants somebody who could at least do that if things are down. He don't want necessarily a helpmate. He just wants somebody who he can.
Karla has a trade. It's a trade. You know how many people who've been working 9 to 5s forever, who if the ball drops on them, I have friends right now that if they lose their job or if something happened with, especially with this new government that we have, like they are going nuts. Karla has a trade.
And the same can be said for someone in a trade, which has ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
So again, the money management side, that's what I think Easton is trying to say. He's not checking for her pockets, but he wants to make sure that if she has pockets, that she can manage it and manage her life well. And if I meet you and all you have is stuff in a storage, that doesn't bode for me that you're managing that well. But I will listen to you. The thing is, Juan and Karla needed to have that conversation. Listen to her. Maybe
you know
she made the right economic choice to put everything into storage, because why pay for rent when I'm going away for 2 months in this process? Just listen. That's it.
You know what's so crazy is that I understand what Easton is saying, right? I get that. I understand what El Cid is saying. But a person can have good money management and still not have any desire to hold you down. One thing about Karla is that Karla looks like she gonna make a way out of no way. Karla looks like if the chips are down, she's gonna get to going. And to El Cid's point, we don't know why her stuff was in storage. But one thing about Karla, the way she rides, she seemed like she gonna get down and make sure the family is straight. And to me, there's not enough conversations about that, because there's a lot of people who could be financially stable, but like looking like a Michelle type. I don't want to judge Michelle, but Michelle looked like if the going get tough, she gone. She on the first Amtrak, and she has funds, and she's a good money manager. So I think, character. Like I think Karla's character is A1, and that also should be a major consideration. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with a man wanting a woman that has ambition and who is stable, because a lot of men don't mind taking care of a woman, but they don't want a dependent or a child. Like that doesn't feel good. Like they want you to have your own little spending change, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, you know, be able to manage. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, but I think people are overlooking the soft skills of life that they don't realize are important until you don't have them. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
I think that was beautifully put. You know, I think it was beautifully put. If you're in a movie, I think it was beautifully put. If you're in a movie,
live in the real world.
Because right now she homeless and she gonna be underneath a bridge like a troll because she ain't got no place to stay. Now she might have a trade. She may have a trade. Somebody owned a bar at once, even if it was their family bar, they owned it, but it's still in the basement. Listen, you can have all those quintessential skills. What scared me is decision making. Is that. And I think, I'm not going to say, I don't think this is the only thing that caused Juan to say no. I think there's more than that. But if I'm honest with you, I think it's an attraction issue. But if I'm in a marriage and I wanted somebody who can work with me and build, and your first instinct is to quit your job, and it looked like you hadn't really discussed it, you're just going to quit your job, you are looking like a liability, regardless of whether you have, trade skills or not. You're looking like a liability because, baby, what you doing? How you just gonna quit your job? You know what I'm saying? And I'm guessing that might have also triggered him, right? Because especially if you've got those emotional wounds. If I'm a dismissive, avoidant person, if I didn't really know you, I'm gonna tell you now that would trigger me on a major scale. I don't care how buff you are. I look at you like you're crazy. Because I've only just met you, it's brand new, and you quitting your job to depend on me? Hold on, baby, I don't even know you like that yet. You know what I'm saying, Chu? Remember, again, I have to commit myself. So unless I'm fully committed already, then maybe I'll be like, okay, cool, I'm committed to you already. We've discussed it, it is what it is. But she quit on a whim. Like she was Elsa from Frozen. She just quit like she was Disney princess. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Or like she didn't have a husband to discuss it with.
Bingo.
I mean, that's where you talk.
They weren't gonna be together, y'all. I'm not consulting nobody that I know it ain't gonna really work out. Okay.
Not your husband?
Well, I'm telling you, after the honeymoon, I don't care what language they was talking about. Like, it was a wrap. So
okay, so we clip this right here. That's what LaToya said. That's the baseline for the rest of the show. Gotcha. In 4K.
What?
I'm gonna use
because you went preaching for weeks that these are real marriages. These are real marriages.
Okay.
So now it's like, okay, we good.
I never preached that about Karla.
Oh, so we got different rules for different folks now. Okay.
I never preached that about Karla.
We got you.
I never preached that about. Where did you get this from?
Okay, it's all right. We got you now. Kojo, no.
I never. No, don't. Why are you gonna put them in it? You stay in it, okay? You stay.
We got you. It's okay, LaToya. you and Karla, you can write up a plan with Karla, but we got y'all.
I'm not concerned.
It's a different set of rules for Karla and Juan. This isn't a real marriage.
Easton, that's why Karla will get the financial literacy training and David will get the boot.
Yeah.
Different rules.
Right. Different rules.
And David ain't have nary a soft skill, so I
Girl
saw
power.
Phil's little comment
Now we're
either.
He got two
so
jobs. He don't
ain't
need
no
a soft
grace for
skill with
him
hard
'cause
muscle.
he ain't
You don't need
have
a
no
soft
soft
skill
skills.
with hard muscle.
All he got is lies and lust.
And
Hey,
where's the muscle at?
he got soft Madison to lay on now.
It's
Okay?
dormant. It's
Lies,
dormant.
lust. I'm gonna take a page from Phil since he's not here. Lies, lust, and lullabies from his mama. That's all one got. Okay, so
And stop
carry
comparing
on.
Carla to
David.
David. Stop it now.
What?
Stop comparing Carla to David. They are different.
Why not?
They are not the same. Character-wise.
They're not the same, but y'all been digging real deep on David. Wow.
I didn't dig that deep. I want to be very clear. Sean did that.
We'll get to David.
It's okay.
Not too much on Carla.
Oh my days.
If Carla was a man, the pygmies and the men would be having their orchestra stuff out, and they would be crying a river, and we would be talking about how bad she was done. If Carla was a man, if I was a boy, I swear the double standards. Carla's actually a victim, but we spend all our time talking about she's homeless. Lord have mercy. She's actually a victim.
And before anybody interjects, because I forgot to mention that part, people have seasons, right? Like literally, this is supposed to be a spiritual Christian type page as well, right? Like if there's nothing else, that look at Elsie now. She want to go. Well, you ain't got to stay. You ain't got to stay for this part, okay? What I'm saying is people have seasons, okay? God said, "Don't count you out. Trust Him. Stop playing." Y'all looking at her right now. Y'all need to stop it.
So don't count David out.
Done
Don't
hit us
count
with a
David
whole
out.
word. She
There
said,
you go. Don't count David out.
you don't have a testimony without a test. Can I get a shout and an amen?
And she never asked that man to live with him. She never asked. She never asked anybody to stay. She's good. Somebody who looks like Carla is never homeless. Trust. When you
after show, she look like she got a little
never
bit thicker.
homeless.
Yeah, because you sleeping on your friend's couch.
It don't matter. Carla has a good personality and she has good vibes and a pretty face and body tea, face tea,
And
whatever.
it led to her getting on this show, right?
It don't matter. She is not homeless because homeless, one is a state of mind, but two,
Twin, we have to
hit him with it. She's unhoused at the moment.
She's unhoused, so y'all need to get y'all words together. Yeah,
I got your back, friend.
So end the patriarchy. So apply the same thing to David. Okay, so he can
Patriarchy
be
does not mean equity in that capacity. Men and women are still allowed to be different because they are. They have
we're
different.
ending it, Sean. We're ending it.
No. We
Toss it
can't
out.
because men can't give birth to children. So men and women will never be the same.
So
we can't just throw everything out the window.
But
It just means give women equity, treat women fairly. It's not a catch-all to just treat women like they are exactly like men. They aren't. They're very different.
But they both can live in the basement or they both can have their stuff in storage. We're not talking about something that is unequal here. It is gainful employment and a place to stay.
But do you want to know the difference? You want to know the difference is the fact that Michelle gets villainized for being honest. She came out and said, "I don't want David because he's a basement god dog dweller." Juan, y'all are over here making assumptions about why Juan doesn't want to be with Carla. He had never said that he didn't want to be with Carla because she was homeless or unhoused. Because he's going around scot-free, not being honest. Michelle had the balls, more balls than Juan got, to sit up here and tell y'all, "I don't want to be with a man because he's a god dog basement dweller." So that's the reason why we're able to come to that conclusion.
Well,
but that's not why I'm villainizing Michelle, though. I'm not villainizing her for her honesty. It's the vindictiveness behind it.
Okay, that's a side note. But my point is
the way she did it.
But why does Juan have to be attracted to Carla? Why does he have to want to be with Carla? Juan has the right to say no to Carla. Y'all are wilding, yo. I'm sorry, Latoya, you look beautiful tonight. I have a migraine. I just need you to turn your volume down just a skitch. Just a skitch. You came in hot, bro. Just a six for me. Thank you.
Because I mean, y'all are wilding. Okay, Carla looked beautiful this episode. Hair was looking nice, face was looking good. Carla was the MVP of this episode. But Kojo is right. Carla seems unstable. You just quitting your job. You ain't got a place. I don't really know you like that. You don't seem stable. And if the roles were reversed, and no way, we do not want to be women, y'all would not tell a woman to date a man who moves like this. It's the truth. Carla is great. And David doesn't have soft skills, but he has a supportive family he can rely on too. But Carla is a nice girl, but she just moves a little funny. I would be worried if we gonna have a place to stay, or if she gonna quit her job, or if she just wanna up and move to Mars to practice sound baths and crystals.
And I'm wondering where her family is.
Yeah, that's great. That's great, Phil. But I just want to say, Easton, just 1 second. If Juan would have said all of that, then we would have no choice but to say in here that we respect it.
I doubt that, Seaway. I truly doubt that, my sister, because the first thing y'all would say.
I don't understand that. If he said that her crystals and her tarot cards and her transient lifestyle right now is not what he wants, we would have no choice but to respect that.
No, we wouldn't.
If he would have said that, if he would have said, I don't want to be with Carla because Carla ain't got no job, the first thing y'all would have said, he a 50-50 warrior. It would have been a 50-50 warrior death sentence.
Give us more credit. I think the people on Little Black Book and the subscribers, the commenters, and us, I think we
Seaway's so fake. Seaway's so fake.
Not fake. I think that this is actually a very, very intelligent bunch. Even when we don't disagree, we understand nuance over here. We understand things over here. We're not just blind. That's the reason why a lot of people are over here versus other places where they can act like robots. So I do not believe that. I believe that if he would have actually said, hey, I am a more structured person, Carla's more free-flowing, transient, unhoused lifestyle is not really for me, and the instability gives me anxiety, I feel like people would have been like, you know what? I think maybe you should have gave her a chance, but no, that's fine. It's not cap. Why do y'all think I'm capping? I actually get annoyed when y'all keep saying stop the cap. I'm not capping. I'm being dead serious. It may sound funny, but I'm not being funny.
It's because you called Easton. You pretty much did highlight that Easton's 50-50. It sounded like you did.
No, I don't.
I can't lie to you. You kind of highlighted that.
I never said Easton was 50-50. Easton, you
said it sounded like.
No, I
never.
It
sounded like.
Sounded like it to me.
That was not me. That was not me.
Okay, maybe I got it wrong then.
See how you generalize? All women would have been trying to say
I
that.
don't think that know how brutal these reality shows are when the man doesn't really like his significant other, or if there is some like potential disrespect or miscommunication alignment or something like that. So I don't think that we'd be like, oh, he was just being honest. No, when the guy's honest, he's being an a-hole. Same way with Clay and AD. Clay was selling us all year that he's a cheater. What we say, we dogged that man afterwards.
I didn't dog AD though. I mean Clay. I was actually on one of the people who.
Okay, well I'm saying majority of the people, regardless how we say it, flip it, dip it, and skip it. He got dogged. It's just not a role that a lot of guys can play of being really honest on these reality shows. So that's why you see.
I can only speak for me.
I'm just saying across the board, most of the guys got the gist now after all the seasons of whether it be Bachelor, Love is Blind, Married at First Sight, et cetera, et cetera. You can't really just say your true feelings or be completely honest because you got a job, you got life, and people will come down and knock your door down because you made their best person feel disrespected, or you came for them, or they feel triggered. So I know now guys do as a coping mechanism, they just say, let's play nice. Let's act like everything's good, which is why I think David acted the way that he acted. I think that other guys from other seasons act the way they act. Not absolving anybody, but I just know that guys going on these reality shows kind of have that already built in because they know, hey, let me do this so I don't get killed. Like last season with Hannah and was it Nick? Nick lying the whole time. Why? Because he doesn't want a bad edit and he doesn't want to be the bad guy in public.
So you gonna play for the cameras? You gonna play for the cameras instead of like really seeing if your relationship gonna work? Because I
Yeah,
know
you
the
know what?
couple.
You know what, Latoya?
They all doing it. They all play for
They're
the
gonna play
camera.
for the camera. So let me tell you why. Because I'm reading the comments and I actually understand why they do it. Because I'm gonna actually back up and I'm gonna say that I actually would have been cool with it, but there's a lot of women, a lot of people in the comments who maybe wouldn't. So maybe that's why people think I'm capping, because I'm actually giving people too much of a benefit of the doubt that they don't deserve. So I'm gonna back up. What I can say is I can speak for myself. If Juan would have came out there and been honest and actually gave a real reason as to why he doesn't want her, I would have respected that. I can't speak for all women because I'm the same person who did not have an issue with Clay when he told AD what it was multiple times. I never had a problem with it, but there was a lot of women who did have a problem with Clay despite his honesty. So you know what, Easton? You're right. Because there are some women who, no matter what you say, if you're honest with them, they're still going to have a problem. I happen not to be one of those people. My issue with Juan is that he's dishonest and he's not telling us what it really is. And you guys are all filling in the blank that he doesn't like her because she's unhoused.
But what makes us think that Karla likes Juan?
Okay, so Phil, that is what we call a red herring. That's what we call a diversion in a conversation. That doesn't even answer what I'm saying. I don't even care. Ooh.
Here's my question. How do we know Juan is being dishonest? Because it seems to me Karla is calling people out. She told folks they grimy this time. I don't think Karla would hold her tongue with Juan. So whatever the conversation and I'll say pact that they have, he ain't lying to Karla. They have whatever they got going on and they're gonna make it to the end. She would have called him out and been done.
Maybe she did call him out. I don't know. All I know is, how can we fill in the blank that he doesn't like her because she's unhoused when he didn't say it? My thing is, he never said it. He never insinuated. That theory is just as good as my how you doing theory. It's just as good as y'all he like white girls theory. We don't know.
We don't. But I think that we have to use a little bit of like context, and for him it's historical context. And so his mom, seeing his family members, like I think that you can use that as some type of like inclination on why he doesn't like Karla. And if I see my mom while my dad has cancer pick up the pieces and move the ball down the field and is an amazing partner with their own business, because at this point his mom is an entrepreneur too, and the person that I'm effectively bringing into my family, one, isn't family oriented, which isn't a problem because not everybody's family oriented, but if I want somebody who's family oriented, that would be an issue. And then two, doesn't have any type of business savvy or doesn't have a job and is looking for a place to stay, that would be a huge issue. What are we talking?
That's fair. That's a valid theory. But I could also say, I can look at the context of him walking into a gym and smiling and grinning at David and being so happy about that, and that every time he see a man, he's smiling and grinning. That's context too. We can also use context that he hasn't dated women who look like him in the past by his own admission. There's lots of context.
We also heard Karla say kissing Juan is like kissing her cousin. So while we may not have heard Juan say something actually definitive why he may not like her, we have heard Karla put him in the family box.
We circling the drain, child. I don't know. Whatever it is, I wish them the best of luck.
It's just sometimes listening in is like, we'll give one person a break and not the other. And sometimes it feel like, you know, the ladies will give the ladies grace and won't always give the men grace sometimes.
What man do you want to get grace today?
Well, me and Easton, you know, we can start there.
Please.
No, wait, y'all want grace or y'all want the people on the show grace? I'm confused.
No, what we want to, so what it is, what I'm trying to say, Steve, I'm trying to be a little funny, but what I'm trying to say is sometimes when we're listening in and we're giving everyone, you know, we're giving our opinions on everyone, when you guys speak up on men, sometimes it's no grace, but when it's on a female that you do like, you give them all the grace.
I agree.
And then when something is highlighted about a man and you may not agree or like that man, it's like off with his head. But if we do the same for a female, it's like all of these excuses. A man like Juan, who's stable, who's working 20 jobs a week or trying to open up all these businesses, he has got to like Karla because she's just this loving person. He don't like her for some reason, and that should be okay. He wasn't disrespectful at all, but now it's all these other sort of things.
Who said, though, that we have a problem with him not liking Karla? No one said that.
It appears to me, in my perception of the thing and the nuance of it all, that it appears that y'all don't like Juan because he don't like Karla.
No, I don't like Juan because I don't like people. Me personally, this is just a me thing, right? I'm not speaking for anyone. I like people who live in their authentic truth. So I'll take like a Michelle over someone who I feel like is pissing, and telling me it's rain. Okay. That's just me. I like authenticity. And so to me, anybody who I feel like is not being authentic, I tend to not gravitate towards. So that's Juan. That could be Emem at times. There goes a woman for you. That could be, who else is being inauthentic for the most part? Madison, that's another woman for you. Anybody who is inauthentic, I personally do not gravitate towards. That's David. There's a man, okay, inauthentic and lying. To me, I like authenticity, and so that is my.
What you're calling Juan inauthentic about is something that you're just assuming.
We don't know.
What do you mean? I'm assuming. I'm going off of what I'm looking at, just like everybody else.
Seaway, you've accused this man of. You've accused him.
I said that's a valid theory, just like all of your theories. I said, what is the difference? We're all guessing and checking.
But you're. When you're harsh on somebody, it's based off of an assumption.
Just like you're assuming that he doesn't like Karla because she's homeless. I feel like this conversation is very simple. I'm not even trying to be funny here. Like what I'm saying about Juan is that Juan has given you nothing, and he hasn't been authentic about what his real issue is. And because of that, you guys, a lot of you guys, are coming up with theories about why he doesn't like Karla. So to be clear, I don't care that he doesn't like Karla. I have no judgment that he doesn't like Karla. He cannot like Karla. That's fine. What I'm saying is he's inauthentic. That's my opinion. I don't feel like he's given us anything. And I think we're filling in the blanks and making it as if we know.
Well,
I'm not filling in any blanks.
Is she broke or not? That's what I'm trying to find out. Is she broke or not? That's what I'm trying to find out.
I need her to authentically get a job. That's what I need her to authentically.
Lynn, be cool on me. Lynn, be cool on me. I've had a long day. You got one more time to speak on me. This is your last
Seaway, leave the audience. Leave the audience.
No, they're not leaving me. They're not leaving me.
I know, but you gotta rise above it. Leave the audience.
Oh, I'm not above. I'm not above. I don't do respectability. I'm a human. I'm a human.
Don't crash out, twin. Don't be like a mem.
Don't be like him. Not too much. I'm not too much.
Don't be like a man.
It's not too much on me.
Leave the audience.
That's all I'm saying. This is let
me interject. I don't care for Juan because again, the wife that he envisions is one that I feel will never get rest. And there's a lot of talk about when we do say we want someone 50-50, a lot of times women are doing more when we're doing this 50-50. And then also the reason why it's all dead to me as well is because as long as he also wants kids, then I'm just not about to play this game with him. I'm not playing this game with him. So for me, that is not like, I want to know the reality of this and like, how will this woman ever be happy in this situation? And so for me, because he wants to have kids, he wants her to also like be 50-50, essentially use her like a tool. Like I see no benefit in being with him. This has nothing to do with the assumptions that we have and all of that. I'm talking about what was said in the very beginning episode that also was said by his dad. As a woman, I don't want to be a part of it.
But that part of projecting, LaToya. That may not be what you want, but there may be a woman out there who does want to work and build a family business with someone and work and have those kids. So I think I'm hearing a little bit of projection. And I will ask that because his mother, he has seen his mother work with his dad in the family business. And we know several people working on family businesses. And while you say the woman may never rest, again, she could find time to rest. She could find her happiness within her marriage, however she sees fit.
Call it projection, call it whatever you want. I know that a lot of women, when you really sit down and talk with them and you ask me if that's what they wanted to do, if they were happy. See, we're just talking about what we see on the surface. When we go straight and talk to these women, that's not the energy. They're not saying, yeah, I was happy to do all of that and raise kids and cook and like have to take care of like work at the same time. Like, come on now. So I get it that they might not say it, right? Because like we're talking about older generation as well too. They don't talk out loud like that a lot of times. But when you get one-on-one, I'm sure Juan's mom was like, I would have liked to have rested a little more.
Why you got to do that? Why is that accent?
I don't think
that Colombian.
No,
Latoya's not lying. I have a real story about that, but too many
the
people.
Same accent Juan Kojo uses to talk about Juan.
You ain't lying, Latoya, because I actually know somebody, but I can't give too much info. But she because I don't know who be watching me on here, but yeah, she dedicated her whole life to the family business as part of like, you know, a ride or die situation. And all I can say is at the end of her days, I don't really feel like she got really what she deserved out of life. But anyway, that's all I'll say on that. But that's neither here nor there. But I would have to say, if a woman wants to sign up for that, and that's what Juan wants, you know, for the people in the back, he has a right to want that. And a woman has a right to want to sign up for that. You know what I'm saying? He has a right. We only have one life. Juan could do whatever he wants to do and choose whatever he wants for his life, whatever like makes it work for him. I just wish the experts would have expounded on that. And so we could have, you know, had some honesty over that situation, some clarity. Because I don't think we really got that clarity.
All right.
Oh,
Not
good.
really
Good. That was good. That was good. That was good. I like. And that's how I broke my first chair as well for YouTube, guys, by the way. Listen, well done, you ladies and gentlemen, for that good conversation. I think you guys did a good, sterling job there. You definitely put some welly into it, and you made sure that you gave both sides. And I appreciate the dialogue and the conversation. You know, it was a bit sticky at certain points, you know what I'm saying? But it was good to hear the different perspectives on Juan and Karla as well. Listen, I still think she ain't got no job, and a basement dweller, she is not. She's homeless, and she'll be joining David very soon. So anyway, let's continue the conversation, because if I don't, Latoya gonna get me and ring me up my neck. Not too much on Karla. I've been told not too much on Karla. I've been told in my ear not too much. Yes, I hear you. Sean and Latoya told me not too much on Karla. Okay, cool. All right, listen, let's move it on. So obviously there are other couples that came onto the show that were also interesting. We had obviously the David Madison situation. Obviously, we had Alan speaking to Michelle as well. I guess I'll bunch them together because obviously, they don't really have their relationships anymore. But I asked this question. Obviously, Michelle went to speak to Madison. Okay, all right. And David said, "Oh, I don't press something. Sorry about that." And then David actually ended up, defending Madison. To Michelle as well. I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on that. Like, how did you perceive, before Michelle left the house, how did you guys perceive the situation between Madison, Michelle, David, and Alan? Because I think we'll deal with Michelle and Madison conversation first. They had a conversation. Michelle tried to ask Madison some questions. Michelle let us know that she was more hurt by Madison, doing what she did. I personally think she was more hurt the fact that another woman could see some value in David. But hey ho, you guys are obviously going to give me your thoughts. What was your thoughts about the Michelle and the Madison interaction on this particular episode for you? I would love to hear some perspectives on this as well. Who would like to go first? Okay, everybody.
I guess I'll go first.
Thank you.
Madison has to stop thinking that, like, she's trying to save her image. That initial conversation and her string of conversations this entire episode was her trying to do damage control. And I'm like, hey, if you're going to do it and you're going to step out the way that you do it, go ahead and do it full full force. Just be like, hey, I did it. It is what it is. I ain't like that man because it's broccoli draws, and call it good. But she didn't. She was still trying to come across as the good person, or I'm still like, it just kind of happened. The lying. I don't have a lot of sympathy for Madison, although I know in the cheating, when people cheat, typically it's the woman that gets the like the short end of the stick. So, but I don't give Madison any grace for her conversation with Michelle. Like Coach and I said yesterday, we don't care because it's Michelle, but she's still wrong. Madison's still wrong, and that conversation was, it's still kind of framed from Michelle. She's trying to absolve herself as to why she treated David in the image that she has garnered this entire season. She's effectively trying to continue this campaign that she is justified in her actions. And I think that we can separate I think we can separate everybody's faults. I think that we can separate, we can say that the cheaters cheated and they're wrong. We can say that Michelle is wrong for how she treated David. I think we can also say that although we don't agree, we can see how people may cheat. Not saying that it's right, but especially in an experiment like this, when you have a partner that may have treated you like that, there are some teachable moments. And I think that we can split them up and dissect them piece by piece. But I think that Michelle is effectively trying to change her image and absolve herself because David and Madison cheated, and Madison is trying to come across as the good person when in reality, her and David were the most selfish people on this season because they did what they wanted and they didn't care about their partners nor anybody else within the friend group.
I'll just jump in. It's wild. I mean, what is in the air that I agree with Easton? I think that we've been on one accord with this for sure. Yeah, I get it. Okay, Michelle, you were done wrong. And but like she's like, well, you were my friend. Like she sounds like she's in kindergarten. It's like, girl, y'all only knew each other for a few weeks. Y'all was not friends. She literally started talking to David from the jump. Like, stop acting like it was more than what it is. And again, it just appears that she's trying to prove something or save face because of her bad attitude, or at least feel justified in why she had a bad attitude towards the beginning. But like, I get it. No one cares. It'd be different if she even like shed a tear because she like to show that like she's actually really hurt, like we see with Alan. But like, girl, what is your aim? You did not like him. Okay, you got caught. Y'all only knew each other less than 2 months. Move on. Be glad that you caught this. Know that your intuition was great and keep going. You never even liked the man, and you do not have to be friends with Madison like at all. Like, what are we doing here? And so and then again, I think because of the age difference, she tries to intimidate her. I think that's the reason, because she's the older person. She knows that she's going to come and jump at her. And for the most part, Madison can't really handle it. I think if they were at the same age, though, like Michelle couldn't do and keep the same energy that she's keeping. And I think she's only doing it. It's another power play for her. And again, if there was any sort of like tear or something that would like resemble that she's like, oh my God, so hurt, then I like give her some. But no, it's all just self-centered. And I'm just really over her. As far as Madison, again, like Madison is so scared of Michelle. She's like confronting her, but still running away from her at the same time. It's kind of sad to see, again, because it is the power play. But ultimately, like, Madison doesn't care. Like, they both are going to, like, her and David literally do not care about none of these folks. So they will move on. And I think the attitude that they have both shown should just like also be to other people. Move on from these people, kind of like how my favorite Karla did. So move on, say, I'm not messing with you. I only known you for 2 seconds. Go live your life. Do that. Like, I wish that like she would just do that instead of trying to intimidate this woman over here because she took this man that you thought was terrible. Period.
I'm confused, Latoya. I'm confused. I'm confused by.
You said I was on the wrong side of history last week.
You on the wrong side of history again.
Okay,
but here's my thing. Here's my thing. If it was you, or if it was me, and I've been talking to you about a man I don't like, I don't care if I don't like him. We've been chit-chatting, talking, whatever. You've been smiling in my face, giving me advice whole time. You doing a do with my man. That's grounds that's grounds for fighting. That's grounds for a tussle, let alone an intimidating conversation. I'm sorry. Madison is so dead wrong for talking to this lady and acting like she was her friend and getting tea all to be with her man. Are we not supposed to be mad about that?
I don't know you that much to care. I don't know you that much. It's like literally been less than 2 months.
Then the married couples then don't matter. Then Alan doesn't know Madison. Then nobody knows nobody. By that standard, like this is funny to me. By that standard, nobody knows nobody. Camille don't owe nothing to Thomas.
I would have to care first. I don't care.
They were friends. They cared for each other.
Oh, friends, like kindergartners, like kindergartners. Are you serious? They're friends.
You haven't observed.
It's a respect factor. I'm with Seaway on this one. It's a respect thing. You ain't got to be my friend, but you got to respect me. And you smiling in my face as I'm spilling my guts out to you about the problems I'm having in my relationship. Nah, Seaway is right, yo. We got to step outside. We got to step out back.
For a guy you don't even like?
Not on camera. Definitely not on camera.
It's the respect.
Principle, Latoya. You remind us all the different places you from. One of them is Chicago, right? On principle, you gonna stand on business, right? Because that is completely disrespectful. How somebody is looking in your face, being your friend, and then talking about you on the side in the group chat and sleeping with your dude. Come on now, you just gonna to slide it off. We can't have a slippery sliding scale of respect just because we don't like somebody. I think it just becomes. I think we just gotta set the baseline at being reasonable.
And she didn't run up and smack her. She literally confronted her and was like, "Literally, what's up?" Like we were on the phone, we were chatting, we've been in each other's faces. You've been giving me advice, and whole time that you're sleeping with my man. That's diabolical. You need to answer to that. Y'all, I mean, it's not like she beat her up. She asked her a question. That's the bare minimum for somebody playing in your face like that.
It was the battle of the Karens. They both was out trying to white woman each other. Do you want to talk? Yeah. Are you going to let me talk this time? Yo, it's a respect factor. You ain't gotta. The fact that you know me, the fact that you know my name, and I'm with Seaway, the fact that you know I'm married to Alan, like, and you married to David or whatever, you got to respect me on that. It's just a boundary that they cross, yo, and they have to, it's a respect factor. I'm sorry. Latoya, Southside, come on, Seaway from Chicago too. I can't believe you're not with me and Seaway on this one. It's a respect factor. She don't respect her based upon that disrespect. And then the cavalier attitude you have about the situation, that's the other issue.
Legally
very cavalier.
She's legally married to this man.
Well, Michelle should have took it back to the country roots and had a hoedown or something like that and beat her up, because I don't know what to tell you. I don't care. Michelle, look, you had your chance to get everything squared away, and you did. You had a chance to fight her. And so it is what it is.
But I already mentioned last week that a lot of this has to do with the fact that they are on camera. But to be honest, they also, you've heard tidbits around each episode that they're not really hanging out with each other like that. The only people who have been intentionally hanging out is Karla, Juan, Madison, and David. Like, they not even hanging out like that for all of this. I'm friends. Like, stop this.
No, I think it's the exact opposite. I think what we're going to see next week is I think Madison is such a low down dirty dog for what she did.
She better tell all the secrets.
Because I actually think that even though they may not have been out in the streets, I think Madison and Michelle talked all the time. I think they were talking all the time, and I actually feel like Madison was taking all the tea that she was getting from Michelle. Was like, oh, the coast is clear. She really don't want her. Let me use all the things that, you know, she complaining about, and let me do the opposite. So honestly, it's just like, if I was on the phone spilling my heart, spilling my tea, that's extreme disrespect. It doesn't even have to do nothing with David. Like, that's like a human to human thing. That's foul. I'm even surprised. There's a lot of things that are debatable issues up here, but the fact that this is a debatable issue to me is wild.
Here's the thing, Seaway.
I'm confused.
I am not catching an assault and battery charge over a man I don't want.
It's assault and battery to have a conversation.
LC? No. You're saying we're gonna square up and it's cause for a fight. See me outside. That you're saying
but take that out of it. Let's talk about what she did. What she actually did is have a conversation.
I'm not approaching anyone in Michelle's place. I'm not approaching anyone as they get out the bathroom and they ain't even wash their hands. Let's start there. I'm gonna meet her in the living room. I'm not even talking to you. So the germaphobe in me would have been like, yeah, I need to talk to you downstairs. Yes, somebody should have locked him in a room somewhere because he was interjecting where he was not needed. The two women, yes. Michelle said her piece to Alan. She said, yes, she needed to say her piece to Madison. But you already said your piece when you knew she was foul and lying about the text messages. There's nothing more for us to say because I know you're lying to my face. I know you deleted messages. I don't need to see you anymore. So I don't understand why we need to go back to face. I done called you out. Everybody know you are lying and you carrying on with my husband. I don't need to see you. I need to pack my bags and leave. That's it. Why do I need to squabble? He's not worth it.
Can I interject for one quick second? I think for Michelle, now I want to disrespect you. I want you to look awful on camera. Now I think she wants the world to make Madison feel bad about herself. It's like, at this point, yeah, I know you lying, but since you're gonna continue to lie, I just want to look like I'm tough and I want you to look bad. And she does have the right to do that. When you disrespect somebody and you do wrong by somebody, you can't be mad at their response towards you. Like, you can't do dirty to somebody and then expect them to walk away from it.
But again, she already made her, for me, and that's just for me, she already made her look bad. She went through 2 cycles in that house of showing that Madison and David were lying and going behind their backs. So again, the confrontation is just piling on. I don't need to pile on because let's say they acted out on camera. You put yourself in danger for a man you do not want. Again, Madison, sorry to say, Madison going to the gym every other day. If they got into a squabble, the hands thrown would have been on Madison or Michelle. I'm sorry. But I'm not myself.
Them Beckys with the good hair ain't pulling each other's hair.
What I'm saying
you can just knock that off, being the peace officer, I'll say, because ain't no violence gonna break out.
Into a fight over a man I do not want. Not happening.
Listen, I think we are just grappling on to this one little piece about people saying it is grounds for, a fight because, hey, listen, Jill Scott has that song, you better back down before you get knocked down, you better chill. Like, that's just a common expression. Nobody's expecting these grown people on maths to get to tussling. But at the end of the day, I would hope that universally we can understand right is right and wrong is wrong. And we can't, just because we don't like Michelle and we don't like that she was mean to little old David. Oh my God, God forbid she doesn't like him and she calls him out for being a basement dweller. Wah, let's coddle him. But if we can just acknowledge that she was rude, she was mean, she was horrible, she's not a nice person. At the end of the day, they're still dead wrong. And she has every right to feel betrayed by either her friend and even the person that she is legally on paper. I don't care what you want to call it. If it's math, it's not a real process. She is married. They have to get divorced in order to not be together. He should not be with another woman other than his wife until they are no longer together. And if we want to debate that and sit on some esoteric point about whatever, it's like, come on, it's becoming banal. So I hit you with another SAT word. It just becomes banal, guys. Like, let's just knock it off.
That's not what we're talking about, Sean.
And I don't know what that
That's what I'm
means.
talking about. Je ne parle français, je parle anglais. I ain't wee. I'm saying what I'm talking about.
I'm glad Sean clocked in because I'm
Sean was Creole.
Sean clock in.
French 1 and 2 in college.
With my mug on me. Oh, DD. Oh, what it is? Oh, DD. What it is?
Kojo, what the hell?
I got worse one. Let me give you another one.
Who are you? My name is a pimp named Slickback.
That's what Sean was coming in like hot. But continue, guys. Continue. I'd love to hear this dialogue. So we're talking about Michelle and talking about Madison and whether Michelle should have cared. Personally, I personally wouldn't sweat over somebody I didn't like, but that's just me. Even if another goon was here hitting it, I'd have been like, bro, do your thing. Fam, you should have told me earlier. I'd have been like, cool, because I don't like you. I guess maybe that's just me. I'm like, if I really don't like you, like there's no inkling of me liking you, I'm not about to now sweat another Negro, like your family, like you. I'm like, bro, listen, you should even go forward and continue, bro, because I don't even want her. You know what I'm saying to you? If anything, I would. You know what I'm saying? I didn't mind her having a conversation with Madison. I didn't think there was anything wrong with that. I think Madison could have had a conversation with her. Madison's shook. Let's just be honest. That's why I kind of agree with what you're saying to her. Madison is shook. Like she did not want to have that conversation. She was scared. She shook of Michelle. What Michelle's going to do. I don't think Michelle was wrong for trying to have a conversation with Madison. You know what I'm saying to you? I didn't think there was necessarily any bad in that. You know what I'm saying to you? So yeah, I thought it was okay for her to have a conversation with him. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, she's probably a bit more pissed off the fact that it's Madison and the fact that David found another blonde woman. She probably thought, she thought he ain't gonna find nobody else because he a basement dweller, but he ain't gonna find no one else. But somehow, some way, the fact that he's not homeless and he has a job, two of them, that's why he was able to find another white woman. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying, G? But please, unless you jump in again for me.
Well, y'all doing all this about this blonde hair. Her hair is breaking off so bad because of those clip-ins.
She did have like a little patch in the back.
It's the stress.
When a man likes you, he gonna care. He ain't care about the clip-ins. He don't care about the sewings. He just gonna like you.
Self-hatred. All this self-hatred for clip-in blonde hair that is breaking off her hair. I mean, we could do the clip-ins too.
But it was different colors and everything that just made it look real noticeable.
She's an eclectic person. Y'all gonna leave Madison alone. She's an eclectic. Not too much of
That
Madison,
blonde
guys.
don't work for hardly nobody. that bleach blonde with the K-tips and the clip-ins, that is very bad for your hair. Honestly.
Did you say that?
And she still got a man.
Yeah.
A man's got a job. Two jobs.
The men don't. My point is not about the men. The men don't care. Y'all men do go after anything. I promise. I'm not worried about that. I'm just talking about. I was talking to the women. I wasn't talking to y'all. I know what y'all gonna go. We know. Okay. Don't you worry about that.
but here we go. Here's a woman that is going after, as y'all say, the basement dweller with the two jobs. So I mean, hey, there's a lid for every pot.
So, question. Obviously, Alan, not Alan. Yeah, no, Alan had a conversation with the boys, and he asked a question. I want to get your thoughts on this. He asked a question to the boys, and I want to get your impressions on this question that he asked. I'm about to press the wrong show. Married at First Sight Australia. Almost had up. Where is my US version? I do apologize. I have a US version. Okay. Oh, there we go. Fantastic. So you asked this question. I want to know what your thoughts are.
Last night? I don't know, to be honest with you.
I would say
don't
no,
think so.
but
I don't think
follow them back.
Yeah, no, you're good. Just dude, don't let that.
The mind's
I know.
I mean, the feelings started to develop. They don't just dissipate overnight. The hurt's still there, and it's just processing.
He asked the boys, obviously, if they slept in the same bed, if David and Madison slept in the same bed. I want to say, first and foremost, whilst I think the question didn't need to be asked, I understand in the current heat of the moment how he maybe you know what I mean? Like, you know, when you're just, it's almost like asking the forbidden question when you get cheated on, right? There's questions that you probably shouldn't ask, but you ask because you're just broken and hurt. You know what I'm saying to you? Do you think the gentleman gave him, well, not just the gentleman, actually, everybody who was consoling him, do you think they gave him enough room to express himself fully? You know what I'm saying to you? That, do you feel like they validated him enough? You know what I'm saying to you? Because like, I felt like everybody's saying he was a big man. He's a, you know, be a bigger man, you know, pretty much so he doesn't end up fighting David, which I didn't think he was going to ever do. But do you feel like they gave him enough validation? You know what I'm saying to you? Do they need to sing Kumbaya with him a little bit? You know, heat some marshmallows on the fire for him? You know, what's your thoughts?
I'll step in first. No, his feelings were not validated. I felt like everybody wanted Alan to remain this good guy for the cameras. I felt like Alan was about to be a crash out, Easton, to your point. And I don't think that the other couples wanted him to crash out, and they didn't validate his feelings. I feel like they didn't want him to go too far, and I guess they thought he was going to go overboard with it. So they wanted to make sure his image remained squeaky clean.
That man, look, I where I do agree is I do think that a lot of the group was trying to keep him mindful that he is being recorded on a nationally syndicated television show, that he is still in the area of the two people that were cheating on him. But like I've always said, and I will stay consistent in my point with Alan, is as a 36-year-old man, I think that having the wherewithal of knowing how to act, again, I don't think it should ever got to this point, but since it did, I think that you also have to have the wherewithal to know when you can maybe be expressive of that type of emotion and when you can't. I can't always cry in the places that I want to cry at. Sometimes I have to show up for the people around me because they need me and different things like that. And I think that many of us can attest to that sometimes you can't necessarily express yourself in the ways that you want to in those places. And I think that Alan and maybe Juan and the other guys were trying to get him to know, like, hey, this isn't, not that we don't want to validate your feelings, but this isn't the time or place. And they know that man is a crash out. Like I said, Alan crashed out because he had a string on the end of those actions that he was doing. He was calculating and thinking that was going to give him a desired effect, which was going to be the relationship with Madison. And that's why he crashed out so hard. It wasn't because he was hurt, but he was hurt because the investment he made didn't profit anything. And so I do wish that they could have found a way, or if there's a way that they could have taken him off camera and maybe consoled him a little bit more. But I also think that as an adult, you can't cry or maybe you can't attack or be as aggressive in certain areas as you want to be because of the surroundings. Like if you had kids, you can't just crash out because you got kids watching you or something like that. Like I think that there's a little bit of nuance between how he was acting and how he maybe should have acted. And I'm not trying to police it, but I just know Alan be crashing out.
Again, I agree. I just want to say that, I don't think that they really held space for him to be vulnerable, but also I think they wanted to preserve his manhood. Because again, like y'all see, even all the people who, the crew who is like, they're showing up in these scenes, like it's probably at least 5 to 10 people in the background. So if I got a whole speaker speaker box over my head, I got the sound guy over in the corner, I got the director over, I'm just not gonna cry like that. Even if I'm down bad, like I probably, the tears just probably won't even come up as much because it's like all these people out here looking as well. And then again, he's a man, so he's like, no, we could do this somewhere else. And then also he could probably save this for his real friends, like the ones who he's known longer to where he can do that off camera. And again, like what we seen when it was just him by himself, how he acted. So like, no, let's not like, let me not add to him doing this on camera. If he want to go do this, then go do that in a single scene when he was like burning stuff and ripping stuff up. So I think, again, like we just really have to understand that it's a lot of people in these in the crew that is here making sure that this thing goes together, and they're going to make sure that it goes through. Like people have there's a certain time you have to be on set or whatever, so you can cry, but don't cry too long. Like, we got to get up out of here by a certain time. So I think possibly that was it. And you know, him asking like, is she still did they spend the night together or something like that? Like, again, like I told you guys, when the white guys who gave me their phone number and their wives called me the next day, asking me like, so did you guys kiss or did you do anything like that? Like, really, it doesn't matter, because me doing that has nothing to do with if that's, if I didn't do it, then that has nothing to do with your husband is still trash. So but I just feel like in that moment you're really, really hurt, and sometimes when you're hurt, you will ask. Like, I understood why he asked that question, but it don't matter, bro. They don't care about you. Like, just, I get it. Just go cry in the car on the way back to the city. So,
but I think the question tells a lot about how much Alan really did like Madison.
For sure.
Because it just shows he was really invested in this, and that explains his, high emotional state. Because like Michelle said, I haven't even cried about this or nothing like that, but we weren't expecting you to cry. You know what I'm saying? But with Alan asking these questions and then, crashing out at the house with the pictures and the vows and stuff like that, he was really invested in this. And I think sometimes, like Easton, my brother, when I'm listening to you, you're more focused on the crash out instead of what caused the crash out. Like, it was something that led up to it.
It's inevitable with Alan. This is inevitable. This is a reoccurring situation. He's gotten cheated on before. Didn't he say he got cheated on before? And she slept with 9 other people or whatever it was. This is a revolving door for Alan. And my thing with Alan is the motivation. I was reading an article, and it's, again, just the nice guy tendencies is just a dating tactic. It's a dating tactic that is stemmed from emotional wounds. And so these guys do it all the time. It's baited. It's rooted in disarming whoever they're pursuing. So Alan is doing this stuff. And again, everybody wants to think that Thomas is who y'all think Alan is. Thomas is doing this stuff off of this without any type of investment outside of, like, he doesn't expect to get anything back. That man then been down under, and he over here just like, maybe I'll get it today, maybe I won't. Alan, if he would have done something, he gonna have an expectation, and if it didn't happen, he might set the house on fire. He gonna be like, what? I don't get none. He gonna set the house on fire. Alan does things, and he tries to disarm Madison by doing nice gestures, trying to contort himself to be likable by her, and it just doesn't work. And so that's why I'm telling you, I spotted Alan, because Allens are the same people who use therapy buzzwords and use, I'm a zodiac sign, and try to connect with you on that. It's the same type of game. It's just a little remix on it. And so I recognize Alan's game, and Alan has all the reason to be. On paper, he's better than all the other guys. He's got a Jag, he's got a condo, he's got a nice dog. It's him. It's in between the ears. That's the issue. And not saying that he's messed up or anything. I'm just saying that he has to work on that, and before he has a fruitful relationship, and it's just gonna keep happening.
Now, Phil, I understand what you were saying. Look behind as to what the catalyst was. There are people out here busting windows out of cars because there's a catalyst, because someone cheated on them. So I'm not going to go down that road with that. Yes, Alan has a right to be mad. He was done dirty. He was done wrong, because Madison kept dangling hope in front of him. I'm sorry. She was all the way wrong for that. But Alan is responsible. Alan could have hurt himself when he was kicking the cabinet and punching the cabinet. It could be, property damage. It could be destruction of property. What I'm saying is, in this instance, yes, I understand. He has to have an outlet. But to sit there and keep on continuously ripping pages of the wedding book, ripping them in different angles, breaking the cup, leaving it out on display like that, the first thing I saw was that we doing all this on camera. I was seeing privilege because ain't nobody gonna charge you or fine you if something go off. That's what I was seeing. It was fun. I was like, the best thing they could have done is take him to the smash rooms, those smash room places. He could let it all out in a very controlled environment where he can get it all out. But that right there, for me, it was a lot. Pack your stuff, go, leave your ring, whatever, go and leave. Understand y'all saying it's cathartic for him and I'm oversensitive to him lighting those vows on fire. I am the granddaughter of a fireman. All I was seeing is, Alan, come on. You could actually hurt yourself. And again, I would say the same thing like I was saying with Michelle. She's not worth you doing all of this and could be hurting yourself. She's not worth it. Understand you're hurt, but again, it's not worth it. She is not worth the situation, the camera, everything is not worth it. Come on. I was like, yes, be mad. But that to me gave me a whole other level of crash out that I was like, whoa, this is on a whole other plane that I was like not comfortable with.
So because no one was hurt, I would allow it. Because he didn't break his arm or nothing, I'll allow it. Because they are just pictures and stuff like that that can be replaced. I don't know if he broke up her mug or whatever. Because nothing extreme happened, I will allow it. I'm not gonna lie. It wouldn't have been the route I would have taken, but I think sometimes when it comes to people's anger and stuff like that, sometimes they just need that release. And like you're right, El said, people do take it too far and people can get hurt. People can go to jail. But in this situation, it didn't happen. So we don't always have to go to the extreme.
So because it didn't go to the extreme, it isn't cause for concern. Okay.
I mean, what you're saying, feel like that is a precursor for so many terrible situations in life, especially when it comes in regards to a man, whether it be just because it didn't get this bad this time, it can always go an additional step further. With Alan specifically, I just don't have sympathy for the man. Well, I have very little. Also because
little is the operative word.
None, if we're gonna be correct. But that man, you gonna get married. He's supposed to be a husband. At 36 years old, you want a husband. I would want a husband or wife to be operating in the same capacity that you had. Like, to even be able to get to that point is dangerous in my eyes. That's gonna be the leader of your household crashing out like that.
Well, also, Alan is not going to be in a situation where he's being filmed for Married at First Sight again, where he marries a stranger and that his friend is going to sleep. He's not going to be in this situation again. So, like, let's put that into play. And just because someone has one bad moment of him breaking a picture or a glass or something like that doesn't mean he's taking these extreme behaviors or he's going to be abusive or something like that as well.
He did this back to back. He punched and kicked the cabinets, and then the next day he went and he burned. He did everything so methodically. He broke only her mug, the Mrs. mug. He burned her portion of the vows because they had it on both sides, and he left his vows. Like, he was very specific in how he was doing things. That man wasn't thinking correctly, wasn't thinking evenly. He was being very specific how he wanted to crash out, and for us to say, oh, he wouldn't be recorded. Maybe that's the thing that saved everything, saved everybody, and saved the whole situation, was that he was being recorded. That's why I applauded Juan for actually telling him, like, hey, chill out, bro, because you can't delete this.
Well, also, he also made it clear that he didn't want to speak to her because he does have some level of self-control not to put himself in the same environment as her. He said, I'm not ready to speak to her. That shows a sign of strength. I'm strength's perspective. He did want to separate himself and not be around her until he was ready, until he had control over his emotions. Like I said, it wasn't my style to do. It was very childish and immature. But to put this label of like danger on Alan in this situation, I think it's just a little too much.
I will give you that. I think production made it seem like it was overnight Easton. I think Alan, when he left that night, he went there, but I will give that grace. I think production made it seem like he went overnight and then he went back to the place and then did that. I think that was a production manipulation of time, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. All right. That's fair. That's fair. Again, I hope that he has done the work and will stop pedestalizing whoever he's dating, because I think that's the big issue with Alan, and the nice guy syndrome has got to stop. It's got to stop, and it's gonna get it's out there in the field. I'm just trying to do my job of expecting more from us men and stop using these tactics because it don't work very well and it's not fruitful for a long-term relationship.
Well, we definitely want Alan to work on his self-esteem and to get with women who want to be with him and stuff like that. And we want him to work on better handling his emotion. Maybe he's learned something from this. Maybe he's went to therapy and he's working on how to show up as a better person for himself in relationships first, so then he can be a better partner or spouse to someone else. But I just don't, for me, just because I've crashed out before and I've had that reputation of being the wild, extreme one because I had a moment because somebody pissed me off. So you can change and you can you can do better the next time just because you have one bad moment and no one got hurt. It shouldn't be an automatic label for you for forever.
I'm not characterizing him as this forever. I'm just saying that his track record of dating a cheater, like having one person who's a cheater is already like a stretch. Like, I mean, statistically, people aren't getting cheated like at an astronomical rate. Granted, again, anecdotal, but I'm just saying statistically, it's not like 90% of the people that you meet in life that you date are going to be full on. I know this person is cheater. This boy Alan said he had 2 of them and back to back. This is alarming to me, brother. But again, we've kind of gone back and forth with Alan. I'll give him some grace, but at 36 years old, I hope that he pulls it together in terms of not crashing out, because brother, you're supposed to be the leader of the family. You can't be crashing out. And then most importantly, you're going to be that gullible. Like, he had a real estate agent said they got beachfront property in Oklahoma. If that's your husband, you going to expect him to take that deal? No. I just don't think, I know everybody likes his nice gestures, but that's Thomas. Y'all thinking Thomas is Alan, and that's not, they're completely different.
Easton, I'm going to have to give you your own words. Stretch before you reach, okay? That last part, I mean, okay.
Fair.
I don't want to beat a dead horse, but, as we all know, I do have a migraine today, so I'm really not going to, drag this out. I just want to know, are y'all finished telling people how to manage their emotions, how to react to being cheated on, how to fold themselves in a pretzel so you feel better how they behave? Just let me know if y'all are done.
Nope, Emem got her day coming. Her day is coming here soon.
Well, just let me know when you're finished. Give me just a little heads up in the private chat, and then I'll be free to speak. Because what I won't do is engage in some ridiculous back and forth about how Alan needs to be nice and needs to just be so sweet and kind after his whole wife cheated on him with a guy that lives 2 apartments down with a Fraggle Rock ponytail that he knows.
Brother, he could have left.
Is this called respectability
politics? Like, why do you guys just get on my nerves? Because no, he can't leave. They're in a contractual agreement. Everybody can't leave. There'll be no show. We'll be talking to ourselves about nothing. Now, so this is crashing out.
So correct. This is where I check
me crashing out, because I'm sick of y'all making a point about nothing that ain't no point. Let that man live. His whole wife cheated on him. He been spending thousands of dollars trying to make himself, right for her. And y'all want to write a dissertation about how he just needs to be nice. He's the leader of the household. This Negro just got cheated on by his wife, not his girlfriend, not his next door neighbor that he sees sometimes on Wednesdays, his whole wife that he's been trying to make a process out. And Phil, I'm sorry.
That man ain't got a kid.
So nice and really regulating your yelling. And here I am yelling. So I'm going to calm myself down and self-regulate. But y'all have literally been stressing me the hell out with this unnecessary conversation about policing Alan reacting to being treated. And with that in a row, I'm going to pull a Seaway card. I'm not triggered. Triggered means that you identify with something that has happened and it makes you upset. To the best of my knowledge, in all of my relationships, including the marriage that I had for 5 years, I was never, ever cheated on. But I have something called empathy. So I'm able to be able to see when someone else is hurting, and then I identify with it. So I'm empathizing. Maybe I'm annoyed. I'm agitated. I just need you to use better words, because sometimes we take these words that we think apply and they misapply. I'm a words guy. Triggered, I'm not triggered. Annoyed, agitated, frustrated. And I'll even give you, I'm crashing out a little bit, but I'm not triggered. Maybe you're triggering me by misusing the word. Yeah, you are doing that. You're triggering me because you're misusing the word, and I have a problem when people misuse words. So that's how I'm triggered. So, okay, thank you.
That's right, big bro.
I find it interesting.
So you should be like, "Hey, yo, mama."
No, I find it interesting that Sean has all this empathy for David, or not for Alan, but not for David after he was getting mistreated by Madison. But hey,
by Michelle. He was being mistreated by Michelle because she called him a basement dweller.
A lot of empathy being thrown around, but David ain't get no empathy. Okay.
I want to be very clear. I never had empathy for David, and I don't know who Sean was crashing out with, but I certainly have empathy for Alan. Oh, it was Elsa. Okay. I certainly have empathy for him. I said he can go cry in the car. So I understand that he needs to go and cry.
Well, I'm just glad that Sean crashed out, because as women, if we get to yelling on this platform, people going to be telling police and me. But the fact that, Sean, I appreciate you for yelling, because you did it, because Lord, don't let me yell. People going to get to tone police. And so I appreciate when men step in the gap and they say what needs to be said, because Lord have mercy, I wasn't going to be allowed to do so. So thank you, Sean. We appreciate you.
Sean, we are not
he can only shout at the men. He can't shout at women. He can only shout at the men. That's the
cool
thing.
when they do
if he was
it,
shouting at
but
women,
when
I
I
would have
call
slapped him up. He knows. Okay, I'm joking. I wouldn't have slapped him up.
Well, I had empathy for David.
Don't get carried away. Don't you get carried away now.
I'm going to go in a timeout. I'm going to go on a step, guys.
For everyone, so don't get carried. Don't let the. Well, I'm not even gonna go there because somebody gonna be like, "Well, you ain't light skinned." Don't let the niceness fool you. Okay. Don't let the
I hear you, bro.
No, then
I'm gonna sit down, big bro.
They'll get out the paper bag and they get to dictating that. So look,
they're gonna manage your skin tone in a second. You're not really light skinned anyway. So all right. So I'm not even gonna go there with that.
Sean, I find it interesting. Sean, that a couple weeks ago you said, somebody's behavior towards you shouldn't be, reason for how you behave. So Alan's behavior is acceptable because of what was done to him within his marriage.
Are we talking about the burning of the cups and the letters, or are we talking about something else?
Yeah, because I'm trying to understand the cross-contamination of evidence. Because the burning of the cups, I said that didn't have nothing to do with nobody being cheated on by their wife with somebody that they know and has looked in their face. So what does that have to do with his reaction and me saying how people treat you shouldn't be reacted? Just help me understand the connection.
You were saying that David's cheating, okay? He shouldn't. It's no excuse how Michelle treated him for his cheating. Am I correct?
Elsa, were you on the live last night? Or were you
No, I was not.
Because Kojo, so you missed it. Because Kojo did the same thing to me, and it just infuriated me. So I'm going to breathe.
Because it's a real question.
But what I'm going to say is those two things have nothing to do with each other. And Phil, thank you for reminding me, because my headache is raging. So this is what it is. Because David's not being treated well in his marriage, that doesn't give him a license to commit adultery and break his wedding vows. Alan can react to being cheated on in a way which we all may not like or we all may not choose. Those are two very disparate things. They're like all the way over here.
I don't like the way I'm being treated. My wife's being rude to me. I get a pass to go cheat with somebody else's wife. No, those things don't go together. That's like apples and watermelons. They're just so different.
But what are we talking about? What reaction? Can we narrow the scope? What reaction are we talking about? We talking about him burning them cups in that letter?
Or
Okay,
is it
punching
all
the
of it?
cabinets. And punching
Okay,
the
because if we're
cabinets.
talking about him burning the cups in the letter, and we can rewind the tapes. I wish Kojo had a quick way to rewind the tapes. I think Sean and other people have already clocked Alan for being passive aggressive from the beginning. Him being passive aggressive is just the way he expresses his anger. So that's just how he expresses pain and anger. He's been doing it before, and the cup burning and the stuff like that is passive aggressive. But we can't dictate how people express their pain and anger. He does it in a passive aggressive way. Emem does too. Some people do it in an aggressive way, right?
For anything.
Yeah, I think that's where that's what they're having.
That's
This is what
the
we had
biggest
yesterday,
point.
the conversation.
The question is what?
You can't just do anything. Yeah, there has to be a limit to what you can do in retaliation based upon how you feel.
Okay, so
I
But
think
he didn't do anything extreme.
So he
so
played.
I don't mind if he reacted.
Just
I'm
to
just saying
respond.
punching
So
the cabinet.
just to that. Yeah, just to that.
Punching the cabinet?
If somebody cheated on you, played in your face, act like they
I've
were
never
your
punched a
friend.
cabinet. I've never punched a cabinet.
Okay.
Of a house that you don't own.
I never
This
burned
ain't your
nothing.
house.
Wait,
Yeah,
so
and
y'all
number
think
two,
that was
burning something in
extreme?
someone's house, in the house that you're actually in with the person with, even though he's gonna leave, he's burning the items in the household that the person's actually in. That's
Good
kind of
for
scary
him.
behavior. Just saying that part is scary. I don't mind him being angry. If he went to do something else wherever he was, cool. But punching a cabinet and then burning stuff in the household, right? If this was not a TV show and someone comes and tell you that story, right? We'd look at it like, okay, we get it that you might deserve some of the behavior, how angry he is, but we'd have to be a little bit concerned about your passive aggressive behavior and where it can actually lead to. I think that's what people are kind of saying. It's where it can lead to. This kind of behavior, I've never done that. I've been cheated on before, and I'm telling you, I've never done it before. Do you know what I'm saying to you? And if I lived in the same house with you, me burning stuff in the house can be scary behavior. You know what I'm saying to you? It can be scary, regardless of whether you cheat or not. It can be classed as very scary behavior. Me burning items in the house, and that kind of stuff. So that's what I was saying. It's not necessarily. I mean, it could be considered criminal depending on how you look at it. But I think he can act however he wants to act. But we're just saying that it's probably a bit the way he did it. Maybe it could be considered some type
I
of
mean,
way.
if
Do you know what I
somebody
mean?
was burning cups and letters and things like that, and it wasn't such an extreme situation, I would pass judgment. But personally, that situation was so extreme, what he just went through. I'm glad that the worst thing he did was burn a few letters and a couple of cups. I'm not, oh my gosh. And that's what I'm saying. So I understand that he was passive aggressive, but I clocked that he was passive aggressive a long time ago. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I just think that's just the way he expresses his anger. But to me, what he went through.
And if she was in the room, it would be considered DB. I don't think you understand that. If she was in the room and he punches something, even if he doesn't touch her, it can be considered DB. Right?
No,
because when we talk about domestic violence,
Hold on
no,
for a
that is
second.
domestic violence. For him to punch something, right? To him to punch something, even if she was simply in the room, let's say she was in a room, she's not in the room. I'm just saying hypothetically, she's not in a room. So I understand that. I'm just saying how quickly it can change, about how dangerous the behavior can quickly become, because DB, he just needs to punch something and doesn't need to be, and she just needs to be in the corner of the room, and it could be considered DB. So you have to be very careful about the balance of where you're going with it. So just got to be very careful, because if I say like he went and took a glass and threw it across the room and we said that's okay because she's not in the room, but I said if she was in the room and she was nowhere near the glass, it can still be considered DB. So you just got to be very careful about what you can and can't do. That's what I'm saying. Like I get why he did it. I'm not saying that I don't get why he did it, but I'm just saying got to be very careful how far you're willing to go with this kind of behavior. That's my thing. It's like
I have a reference point.
That the worst thing you do is, I pray the worst thing you do is punch a cabinet. Because I'm pretty sure if this happened to you or most regular people, first of all, he probably would have tried to fight David and got knocked out. Then he would have tried to punch the cabinets. It could have got worse. So I'm not saying it's the best behavior, but what he did, what happened to him was extreme. People have lost their lives for less.
So we're excusing that because people
I have a
less?
reference point to bring up, just as a little reminder, because it happened in DC, and actually when I found this channel, and it was with a guy named Phil in DC and a woman named Shiloh in DC. When Phil picked up Shiloh, and he took her out of that alley. And I remember I was in the comments fighting for my life because I felt that he was wrong because he actually put his hands on Shiloh. And I brought up that same point, Kojo, and everybody fought me on it. In this situation, Madison wasn't in the room. Do I think it was extreme? Yes. Do we want it to go far? No. But I just wanted to bring up that little point because I've been waiting patiently for years to bring that up. I think the one thing, like Sean said, we can't police how people control their emotions. Do we want Alan to do things like this? No. Do we want this to serve as a lesson? Yes. But what we don't have to do is go all the way to the left and label him as this violent, crazed person. It's just a man who was hurt.
I'm not saying they're violent.
Right. I get you. I get you, Kojo. But we don't want to just, we doing a lot of hypotheticals and what he could have done. But what we want this all to be is a lesson. So maybe the next time, and hopefully it isn't the next time, when you do have a situation where your emotions aren't regulated, that you handle them better.
I just think you just got to be very careful with that kind of behavior, especially if you're punching cabinets when everybody was in the house as well with you. So that wasn't separate. That was in the house with you. Just got to be very careful. It's a slippery slope. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, because it only takes another time for you to do that, and people are like, wait, hold on a minute. You it's not even about even crash out. It's just kind of dangerous. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to be very careful the kind of behavior. Like, I personally, again, like I said, I understand where he's coming from. It's like the David and Mitchell. I understand where you're coming from. So I'm not saying that he's bad. I'm not even labeling him anything. I'm just saying he should be very careful. Unfortunately, as a man, specifically too, this is where the double standards might even come in too. You are not going to get that kind of grace. Like this, we all understand it now because we can see it on a TV show. But if someone tells you a story separate, you'll be like, whoa, okay. Because other people in the room, how are they reacting? Seeing him punching the thing. Yeah, we understand you, but we don't know what's going to happen next. We know that you got cheated on, but we don't know what's going to happen next. They don't really know. So I'm saying again, I get it. But I'm just saying you got to be very careful that you don't. I wouldn't want anything to happen to him. So I'm not labeling him as necessarily a violent person per se, but just saying that you got to be very
Just
careful.
real quick, I don't really care about Alan, but who I do care about is Phil from DC and Ready to Love. So I just want to be very careful about how we talk about those situations. I know Phil brought that up. That was a very contentious thing. Phil is my friend, many of us on this panel's friend in real life. So I'm biased, I'm saying it, but I just want us to be really careful about that. Phil was vindicated at the end of that. So I'm just hypersensitive when certain things come up, and that's like a friend of mine. So I just want to put a pin in that.
I think if anything, Alan has just shown that when he's drinking, that he behaves irrationally. And so for me, that's the thing that I would put two and two together. I'm not going to fault him for having an emotional reaction around what happened, but I will say that he acknowledged that he had been drinking a lot. And other times we have seen him on camera that when he drinks a lot, he tends to act irrationally. And so if he's doing this on camera, we don't know what he is capable of off of camera. Now I'm not going to go so far to say what he did was extreme, but I will just say that Alan, and I mean, we talked about it maybe for 1 week, but Alan is showing a pattern that when he drinks, that he behaves differently than when he doesn't.
I'm sorry, Latoya, can you just remind me what did we see on camera when he was drinking? He was out of control.
When he drove home, and when he really, really wanted to drive home, that night.
Well, Madison said he had too much to drink. We didn't know exactly how much he had to drink. That's what Madison told us, that he had to drink. Even when she said that they were out in the club and Alan had too much to drink and he was acting up, I don't think we actually saw him drunk. I didn't think he was under the influence. I didn't hear any slurred speech or anything like that. Those were labels that Madison had put on that man. So for me, I'm not going to say that he was under the influence and that he couldn't have driven home. Well, you shouldn't drive when you've had one drink, but we didn't see him showing this outrageous behavior when he has been drinking. So I don't think it's a pattern. That's just my opinion.
I think he tends to act like a lot of passive aggressive folks who, when they drink, they get a little bit more fired up. I think when he drinks, he gets a little bit more gumption, little bit fired up. And I can see that being a little concerning. I just feel like it's I'm of two minds. I understand the cautionary tale, but I think a lot of us sit up on this platform and act like we're perfect, and I know that's not what we're trying to do, but that's kind of what it gives when we discuss things. Because to me, even with all things considered, that he's probably should take a closer look at his drinking, should monitor what he's doing, I still feel like his reaction was still in the realms of normalcy for what he went through with all those people and eyes on him and the camera on him. And he honestly really just needed his space, but people were kind of crowding him, and it was just a lot of stuff happening. So yes, anger management is key, right? You don't want to be hitting things in front of people. That could be assault, not battery though, for y'all who don't, there's a difference. It could be assault, it could be all those things, but I just feel like his response was in the realm of normal. That's all I want to say. But yes, you can always grow and learn. I'm not saying you can't grow and learn. I'm just saying he went through a lot. It was a lot.
I've been there too. And I haven't even been cheated on. So I can't imagine what I might do in the privacy of my own home if I was cheated on by my wife. I don't care if we were married for 20 seconds or 20 minutes and we met on the corner and got married in Vegas. I would be pissed and very upset. And I have done more for less. And I'm not saying I've engaged in any level of DV, but I think when you're in the privacy of your home, they have whole smash rooms, and that's a shared apartment, which, maybe that's a lesson for the production and for Mav. Stop playing with people. So I have no qualms with anything Alan did. He could have done more.
This is my little last bit. I think maybe we might be a little bit desensitized because we've watched so much reality TV and that we are almost bloodthirsty for crashing out or people to get their day in court or have their feet held to the fire, where we don't have a level of a baseline of what's right and wrong or what's too much or too little. And so I want to start with there. But most importantly with Alan, and the reason why I have so much smoke for him is because we hear, whether it be on TikTok, social media, that there's an epidemic of men being men. There's an epidemic of men not having the solitude, the stoicism, the ability to be men like they used to be, or just be men in general. And my issue with Alan was at the big age of 36, that you don't have the leniency of being 18, 16, 17, and 18, and this being your first love and you crashing out. You are 36 years old. And most importantly, he has the most leverage out of all the guys. This man is a white man. He has the most, in terms of power structure, he has the most ability to be able to move and shake how he wants to out of all of them. He has money, he has a nice car, a condo, and he has the complexion for protection. And so he is good on all fronts. And he chose to act out how he did. Not only that, he had plenty of precursors. We talk about wisdom and discernment. Wisdom and discernment help you when you're going through a situation, but it also keeps you out of tons of situations. And so he lacked the wisdom and discernment for a woman who never kissed him, never was intimate with him. And we say dangled a carrot in front of him, but every time she had to say something that gave him any little bit of hope, it was in the supervision of the experts. There was not one thing he could lean on and say like, yeah, this is really what makes me feel like she's going to be my wife one day. Never in the history of it. But for him,
you just hate this man because he's a simp. Can we just call it what it is? You feel like Alan is, I know, can we just live in reality for a second? Like, I want to meet you where you're at, but I feel like you just need to come out and say it.
No,
Alan is a simp, so you can't stand him.
No, my biggest issue with Alan is that it's the same thing with Emem and a lot of other people. We say that, oh, so-and-so could have left, and we pick and choose who we want to say that for. My whole thing is Emem could have left, Alan could have left. I hold the same level of smoke for both of them. Why?
They're contractually obligated. They can't just leave.
So if their partners act a particular way, we don't be like, oh, well, it's because they're forced to be in a relationship. No.
Why can't they have a response? Why can't they have a petty response?
Validation.
Burning is not petty. Burning is not petty. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
But what about what Madison?
Burning people when the person still lives there, it's not petty. She still lived there. That's the whole point. Like, she didn't. It's not like you done it in your own house. You did it in a house that she still lives in.
But you're
That's what I'm
allowed
trying to say to
to
you.
burn.
You
But you're
got-
allowed to burn letters though in your house though.
But I mean, but we're not, it's not about whether you can or can't do it. It's about the fact that you burning things and leaving it in there for the person to come and see. I said, listen, hey, you feel some type of way, but we got to be very, very careful at the expression that we're actually going for, because that for me can lead to other behaviors that are going to be very scary going down that slippery slope. You know what I'm saying? You want to burn that stuff, burn it in your own house. Do it in your house. Do it in your own separate house that you're actually living in, but not when she was there, because she came back to the apartment later on. Did she not?
Yeah, and
Am I
she
lying?
needed to see it. She needed to see it
Why
so
did she
that
need to
she
see
could
it?
understand the depth of what she did.
So it's okay because she needs to see it. So now we're making the same argument that we made about Madison and David about when people feel that they don't like something, they justify certain behaviors. Because I'm not justifying that. I'm not saying it's the worst thing ever.
I love how we pick and choose our moral high ground.
That's what you're doing. That's what I'm trying to say to you. What you're doing?
I'm not pretending to be on any
You
moral
just proved
high
the point.
ground.
I
I'm
did.
saying
You just
that-
chose a
I'm
situation
saying
that you're choosing the high ground.
People should have a right to release in the way that they should feel without being policed. And Easton is also over here talking about stoicism and men being men. That kind of stuff is what kills men. That kind of stuff is what gets men unalive.
That's not what he said.
Because they
He was quoting how
let me finish. Because they suppress themselves. Easton, you had a whole 30 minutes to lay out your plot. You know, so I think let me get my point off. So the point is, men should not just be men. Men should be able to release themselves. And if he want to break a mug against the kitchen sink in their shared apartment, that's not really their apartment together. It is a production of space that she will be exiting out of soon. If he wants to burn a letter, if he wants to burn the vows, which obviously meant nothing to her because she is literally cheating with another person. Yeah, he should have the right to do that, and we shouldn't be spending a thesis time statement on why he shouldn't be doing that. I think it's just an overreach to sit here and say, oh, it could lead to this, it could lead to that, but it didn't. It didn't.
That's a dangerous precedent.
It's a very dangerous precedent.
It's a dangerous precedent.
Very dangerous.
It's okay. Because these are the same precursors that lead to
dangerous precedents that you're willing to accept a little bit later on. What dangerous precedents are you willing to accept, and which ones are you willing to turn a side eye on?
Nobody is. I hold the
you
same
guys
smoke.
want to die on are really interesting to me.
No, it's the same. I held the same smoke for everybody. The issue is that, again, this precedence that you're saying is what leads to DV, assault, plenty of different things.
This is such an unserious conversation. This is so unserious.
It's okay. It's okay. It's not the people who are able to hold their emotions in or be able to suppress it a little bit or know when to showcase it or how to showcase it that are the ones that are crashing out, whether they be people who do attacks on schools or anything like that. It's those people who don't know, who are lashing out without any type of control or any type of barriers. And what you're saying is basically, hey, if something happens to them, it's cool. So that's what I'm saying. Since you set that barrier, Ike is well within his rights to act how he acted with Emem, because that's what you said, Sean.
What?
So what Phil is? So what Phil is?
I hear you, Easton. I can't lie to you. I hear you. They're laughing, but I hear you.
Exactly. That's exactly what he said. He said you can act however you want to act with if you were done wrong. Y'all just said that they couldn't leave because they were contractually forced to be in the relationship. I couldn't leave. He felt in his realm, in his truth, he felt like he was uncomfortable. So he acted on Emem how he saw fit. So that's cool.
Are you being a contrarian?
Ethan, that's not right. No, that's not right.
That's the same argument, y'all.
About principle.
Why do you
I know.
I just love that we compare things that just aren't equal or even remotely equitable. I being emotionally abusive to Emem is not the same as Alan's reaction to being cheated on and destroying some mugs and burning up.
You're not saying that. You literally said that because based off of how you felt, you're justified in how you react. That's what you said. So
I did say that, Easton, but I think we all operate with a general understanding that it's not okay for people to emotionally abuse someone. What someone is doing by themselves and making a symbol and destroying mugs and paper is very different from someone proactively emotionally abusing somebody and being manipulative and harmful to someone. Those are not the same things. So we can't equate that. We can't say, oh, because you say you can do this, that means you could do that. It's not a catch-all. You know, we're humans. We're not robots. We don't take a program of code and then we react to it. We understand there's a different action for different behaviors. There's different circumstances. I mean, come on. We can't do that now.
So it's okay for Alan to have destruction of property because he did destroy her mug.
Yes, it's okay. It's okay because
I
have to have conversations with people that meet me at a very base level, that understand human behavior is nuanced. And yes, because something is okay, that doesn't make everything bad okay. So I can't go with this conversation back and forth.
I think he proved our point personally.
So I just want to add something. As the clinician, you know, I'm a social worker and doing assessments. When you do an assessment, you look at people's pattern of behaviors, right? And so this is the one time we have seen Alan act out irrationally because of the situation that happened between him and Madison. Him being cheated on, correct? What Alan did, to Kojo's point, yes, it doesn't look well. It can be seen as a threat. Kojo is absolutely correct on that. And we don't want Alan to continue these sort of behaviors, so we will want to correct him. We want to acknowledge what he did. We want to educate and counsel him so the next time, if the situation like this was to happen, he doesn't have the same response. So he won't, you know, crash out or cause more trouble for himself. Also, in that same assessment, we also want to acknowledge that he did have an emotional moment because he did find out that he was cheated on. To Sean's and I's point, he got cheated on. His feelings were hurt. He punched the wall. No one was hurt. He didn't hurt himself. He went to the house. He broke a glass. He burned some vials. No one was hurt. No one was home but himself. But we also just want to educate Alan. We want to acknowledge his feelings. We want to educate and counsel him to let him know, hey, sir, we don't want you to continue these behaviors because they can have long-term effects on you. You can be arrested. You can be charged. You know, there's other things that can happen if you continue with these behaviors. But also we don't want to put that label on him that he's this violent, out of control man as well, because he had one moment, because we've all had moments in our lives where we may not have been the best or we showed up as the best. We want to make this a learning lesson.
Now on this panel, no one's had a moment according to what I'm hearing.
Well, that's why, as the clinician on the panel, the clinical social worker on the panel,
not at 36.
No, Ethan, you can't say that. Not at 36. We always
Phil, you had a moment.
Wait, let him finish.
So we just want to educate and counsel him. We don't want to label him because we've seen him do one like inappropriate thing. And yes, it was multiple. It wasn't just he punched the wall. It was multiple. I know that, but this is just one incident. This isn't a history that he has this. We haven't heard him doing things like this on a continuous, regular basis. That's all I'm saying.
Which I don't disagree with personally. Like I said it's precautionary. I'm saying it's precautionary. You know what I mean? Like I said, you only need one of those things in another situation like that, and someone's going to put two and two together and say, now maybe you are a dangerous person. Maybe when you get drunk, you do things like that. You know what I'm saying to you? And like I said, now of course he didn't tear up the whole Airbnb, but if it's your Airbnb, you come back with a punch mark in your thing. You'll be like, what the hell happened in my house that someone did? Oh well, you know, they got cheated on. But I'm now fitting the bill. Like you know what I'm saying to you? Like so. Again, I'm being facetious, but it's true. You're gonna fit the bill, right? So my thing is just saying, like, he just got to be very careful. And I would understand what Ethan's saying. Passive aggressive men, right, who don't deal with their emotions, especially anger, very well. This can lead to certain behaviors. It's not that he is definitely going to lead to those behaviors. I'm not labeling anything. I'm saying it can lead to those things. I didn't like seeing that. I was like, you're punching things and then you are burning things. I said, I don't like that. Especially when you're burning it and leaving it for the person. Listen, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that I've never had a crash out moment. And when I say crash out, my most crash out is to tell you to shut the F up and get out of hell of my face. And I'm going to leave. That's as much as we're going to get out of me, you know what I'm saying to you, right? But the reality of the situation is, if I now start trying to physically do stuff, right? Even if you're not nearby, it can look a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying, Chew? It can look a certain type of way. So that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Chew? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, chill. You know what I'm saying, Chew? And a classic example is when Jamaica, and Sean knows this, when I was getting heated, Sean had to physically stop me just in case. Just in case. I didn't do anything, but he made sure. You understand what I'm saying, Chew? Because what? Does he think that I'm going to be a violent person? No, but he still stopped me just in case, because it can look some type of way and it can turn into something. So you have to be very careful as a man, like dealing with the opposite sex and doing certain things. It can be looked a certain type of way. That's all I'm saying about it. Because if he does crash out, we'll be like, well, this is the moment that he crashed out and we should have said something. We ain't say nothing. You know what I'm saying, Chew? So it's not saying that people don't have moments at all. We're not saying people don't have moments at all. We're saying, I'm saying that I personally didn't like him seeing him banging the thingy and burning stuff and then leaving it for the girl to see. I just think I think especially the burning part is what caught me off guard. I was like, blood, you burn it in your own house. You burn that and leave it for someone else? Oh, man, bro, just be very careful of that, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'd be a little bit. I don't care if you got cheated on. Just be careful because it can end up some type of way. You know what I mean?
Well, I think we should probably move on because I think everybody's kind of on different. Everybody sees this through their own little Google glasses. It appears.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're not going to agree, so that's fine at all. No problem at all.
But I hear y'all. I probably would never burn a cup or a glass because I think that's a little weird. But I may go upside your head.
You go to jail, Seaway. You were doing so well.
I want to leave it with what Phil summarized because I think that was like perfect. Because we shouldn't be encouraged putting people in a prison of stoicism. Although I can understand like to the extreme behaviors can get to the far end, but we should allow people the expression, but obviously, you know, within legal realms and within realms that aren't going to go too far, you know. But stoicism ain't it, because that's also not keeping people protected. As much as passive aggressiveness harms people, I want us to be clear: stoicism harms men at a very high rate as well.
I agree. I actually 100% agree with that. I think he should express his emotions at his own house. Yeah, when the camera's not looking, do whatever you got to do in your own house. I don't care if you break every cabinet in there. That's in your own house. We don't need to know.
Well, he was trying to talk, and here go Juan with his toxicity.
Juan was trying to protect him.
Yeah, he was trying to talk, and Juan
was trying to do what Sean doing to me.
Just get over it.
Juan said you got a camera in your face, and they about to film you crash out, my boy.
That's
what he was trying to say.
I love this.
And I think this is something for y'all men's panel, since you know we're not allowed on there. I do think there needs to be more conversation about what Sean is talking about and the stoicism and the requirement to keep everything in, because I have noticed more violent behavior from the men that are holding stuff in than the ones that are expressing it more free flowing. It's very clear that Alan was suppressing a lot of stuff, and it comes out when he has one beer, or it comes out in like this pain and hurt. He's going through a lot. And maybe he would express it better if he had more outlets, because I saw him trying to talk. He was trying to talk, and every single time he was trying to talk, he was shot down or muted.
I agree.
And then when he burns a cup like a little bit of a weirdo, and I'm not gonna say it ain't weird. It was weird to me. It definitely was weird to me. But when he burns cup like a weirdo, now everybody gonna try to call him Chris Watts. I just feel like there needs to be a middle ground. Like, let the men express themselves. This is the type of expression we do want from men. Healthy expression. Not all that crying on the podcast, Mike, but we want healthy expression. He was trying to express himself.
Expression police. Somebody lock her up. Somebody lock her up.
Lock me up, Easton.
So you're gonna police me?
Thank you. Don't even
express myself. Okay.
Yep, lock me up. Exactly. Expression police.
I want you to express yourself like this, not like this. This is how we want you.
Let's cry for Akiche. Let's cry for all the people that ain't about a goddamn thing.
Wait, Easton, are you saying that a man shouldn't express his emotions? I think let's make it clear for them so that they understand.
No,
what are you saying about a man expressing his emotions?
No, I think that within you going through circumstances and situations, you have to be aware of where you're at, what you're around, what the people that are in your circle of influence or of your circle of protection. And in Alan's case, I don't think he was very aware at all, which is why he crashed out the way that he did. And I think for us as guys, and specifically Black men, I'm on the opposite thinking of Seaway. I think a lot more men are far more expressive. Like the YNs, they're overly expressive with their emotions. They're not being stoic in any capacity. If something's happening, it's on. And so in my head, I think that there needs to be the stoicism. There needs to be balance, but the stoicism helps you being able to know when to compartmentalize it, so you can know when you can express it, whether it be at your home, to your therapist, to your circle of influence that can listen to you and give you meaningful feedback.
So I think when we talk about expressing anger, it's not that you get angry, it's the expression. It's not the feeling. And a lot of times with men don't get a chance to have the feeling or express the feeling. Because that's two different things. Because see, we can all be angry. Because I think in the moment, like LBB Kojo said, like was Alan's feelings being validated? They weren't being validated. So that's why his expression was kind of, chaotic. Because sometimes with the young dudes is everyone's telling them not to be angry. So what happens? You get more angry. That's why when someone's ever angry, you shouldn't tell them to calm down. You should like sort of monitor and just listen, because sometimes if you let people like get it all out, they'll calm themselves down. But it's the buildup and the people not actually listening and not letting them say, "Hey, I'm pissed off, I'm mad, and I'm angry," and stuff like that. Like let somebody express them. It doesn't have to. It's not going to be nice. It's not always going to be nice. It's not always going to be very dignified and stuff like that. Look at me now. I'm normally saying whack and calling people, making jokes and stuff like that. But, I'm in my little clinical bag. But, people have to be able to express themselves, and it's okay. And we don't always have to agree. But, let people get their frustration out, especially as men. We need to let men be angry and say that they are angry and just have, positive ways that they can get out the frustration, to get out the anger instead of holding it all in. Because sometimes when you hold it all in, it makes you sick, makes your hair fall out, strokes, heart attacks, high blood pressure, things that already plague our community. So it's okay to be angry. It's just you don't want that expression of anger to be detrimental to yourself or to other people.
And I 100% agree that, and I think that's important. Sorry, Sean, go for it.
No, I was gonna say, do you have like an applause or some type of a meme that you can throw out there? Because I think that was so well encapsulated.
Let me hold on now. Oh, yeah.
Or just being petty.
Oh no! I'm in it. Sorry.
Okay.
I didn't mean to be petty.
I look at your face.
My bad.
Look at your face is like, all right, yeah, whatever.
Sorry. I was thinking you said that. My bad. Sorry. It wasn't meant to be petty. I genuinely was trying to do it. No, I agree. Listen, I agree with that, and I wanted. Oh, sorry, Siwe. Do you want to say something? Go for it, Siwe. Sorry.
Oh no, I was being funny. I was saying the people have requested us move on. Anyway, continue.
Oh, we're gonna stay right here now. They're gonna make me be petty. No, I definitely hear both sides. Listen, I think, like I said, that's one I wanted Ethan to clear up. I don't think any man should ever, hold in their feelings. But I think what Phil just said is that it's about the expression. You know what I'm saying to you? And I guess we might agree to disagree on the type of expression that may be acceptable in that instance. And I guess that is life. You are going to agree to disagree in some aspects. Some people are going to be like, that's too far. Some people are saying, hey, that's not that. He could have done a lot more. You know what I'm saying to you? So, but no, definitely love the only points. I think we've reached our conclusions on that, because I think that was pretty much the end of the show between those two of them. Unless there's something else you want to address within the space of Sean said, listen, wrap it up. Deacon said, wrap it up. Time is church is done. He's right, it's 3 hours. Okay.
I do want to know, because I didn't talk about it before, that I really appreciate Karla getting in everybody's butt and kind of bringing the hammer down on Madison. That made my day. I feel like as a girl's girl and a resident girl's girl, we don't tolerate that type of Jezebel behavior in our midst. And I'm glad that Karla wasn't trying to be a people pleaser She let her know the way you moving ain't gonna work for me. Shout out to Karla for that.
I thought you
Oh,
meant
we
this
didn't talk about Emem and
topic,
Kike.
Kojo, because we
Huh?
didn't. You just meant
Not
this
Emem and
topic,
Ike.
not ending the live, right? Because
Sorry, my bad. You end on Emem and Ike. I do apologize. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
my bad.
Let's
You
get
know,
the best
it was
one.
so kumbaya.
Yeah, I just
It
meant
sounded
let's
like a great
close the
moment.
door
My
on
bad.
this.
It was so kumbaya. It was like, oh, I got confused. I apologize. I was about to crash out. Let's talk about Emem. Let's talk about Emem and Akechi, because their situation, boy, there might be another argument again today, because that situation, obviously, yesterday was quite the interesting conversation. You know, we had Emem writing a letter for good old Akechi in that space, and she let him know quite clearly how she felt about him and about what he actually how he actually behaved. So let me get you guys a clip so you can remember what it was about. If I can actually find the damn clip. Here we go.
Get ready, Easton. You gonna get ready. I know you ready.
Here we go. Just a little clip.
He wanted to embarrass me.
I had no intention of coming there to embarrass you. Again, that was not my intention. I apologize for that.
I think it's bull.
That's what's up.
Okay. I think it is a burning bag of dog.
She called it a burning bag of dog doo-doo. So I love to hear perspectives, thoughts on this particular aspect. Emem wrote a letter, and she let Ike know that he is embarrassing and that she's writing up a full free consultation for him. And she wrote up some therapists as well for her as well. And you know, she just let him know, like, you know, in uncertain terms, that, you know, she doesn't wish him well. Her mum does, but not her. So love to hear your perspectives, because obviously yesterday's conversation was quite interesting. How did you feel about the letter? Yes, Phil, I see your mic's open. Go for it.
I loved it. The passive aggressiveness of it all was amazing. The fact that she gave him psychiatrist, she used her intellect, she used her knowledge as a practitioner. It was great. You know, I didn't like her saying, "I wish the worst for you." That was the only part I did not like, but I understood where she was coming from. I understood that she was frustrated and she was angry, because I believe he was trying to embarrass her, and him lying about the situation made me madder, because you were trying to embarrass that woman. Don't say you brought that paper to her to talk to her about, you know, the divorce. And I think Dr. Pia asked, well, why did you bring it to the group in front of everybody? Because if he wanted the divorce, he could have called her, or they could have went out and had a conversation. So I loved it. It was passive aggressive and petty. I was here for it.
Thank you, Phil. Who wants to continue and follow and talk?
I'm going to twist this a little bit. I was glad she had her voice and he had to stay there and listen and take it. But again, here's where I'm going to twist it a bit. Why did Emem have to fight so hard? Why did she have to hold the baton like that? Again, it felt like the experts in this entire process didn't protect her. This should have been heat from Pastor Cal. This should have been heat from Dr. Pepper. It should have been heat from Dr. Pia, because clearly he lied when he said he was going to move back in. They were going to go back together. Why did Emem have to carry the entire load herself? I'm glad she spoke up, said her piece, got her, you know, she got her digs. She said it's a whole pile of caca. But again, my sister has got to fight her battles herself. We're on a show with experts that's supposed to provide support. She should not have to fight this battle herself. And I'm watching these three people sit there and realize they put her in this position and they're not backing her up with vim. They had all this vim for David, Madison, and everything. And here is Ike, who was throwing out some really heinous accusations to her that could destroy her business, destroy, you know, people's thoughts of her character. I'm sorry, the experts, I'm sorry, when the show moves, I would like a whole new trade-in for different experts, because this and how Emem had to carry stuff herself and go through this, we need a change. I'm sorry, Pastor Cal, you could go away with the wash. You know, Dr. Pepper, please retire. Pia, please stay home with your new family. Y'all could just be gone, because this right here, it was the most dangerous aspect of this. And I'm like, he gets to get up and leave? You only lecturing him? You have got to be kidding me. Y'all want to rewind the videotape to everybody about their application videos, but you're not holding their feet to the fire, or his feet to the fire. That's my whole thing with Emem and Ike situation.
My point is the experts are trash, but they've been trash all season, so I don't expect them to like miraculously get it together. I didn't like Dr. Pia's comment towards the end, although like I've always had smoke for Alan, have the same smoke for Emem. I've always said that if you are in danger or if you're with somebody, there's plenty of opportunities to leave. But again, we are just going to say that contractually, she's not obligated to leave. I still think that if you're not going to, you have to be your own biggest advocate. And so my smoke with Emem has always been that I think that the same way as Madison, Ike has never given you any sign that you should have stayed. He's been rude, disrespectful, mean, crass, straight up diabolical this entire time. And I wish that she would have taken any opportunity to leave quickly. Also, the willingness to go back, call that man her husband. So that's my smoke with Emem. Akechi's trash. That letter, I think, again, we're desensitized to the emotional, I guess, the emotional pulls that we get from like people getting read and the drama that might happen, that might ensue. But I think it was a little bit tacky, and this last little bit of Emem and Akechi's story seems very scripted, whether it be the dinner with everybody. I feel like Akechi has been like out of it, but they're like, hey, you can't leave, but we're not gonna call you that often. And so they bring him in last every time. He acts a fool and he leaves. Same thing with the cabin. He comes in last with a green folder and one page. Doesn't make any kind of sense. Like, what lawyer did you get that from? What, like, it just seems super scripted, super like the only thing I have that I want Akechi to do is like stop walking into these rooms like a dog with his tail in between his legs. Like, you getting, it seems like you just getting played and pimped around by the producers. And to me, it just seems like he's just a weak dog walking in, trying to get his little check, his little scraps, and keep it pushing. But not too much to say else about Akechi. I wish he would have or Emem, I wish you didn't have that little last bit. It turned into really vindictive writing, and I know that's going to be policing, but I think you stooped to his level, and now he can be like, see, this is what I'm telling you about. But that's just my piece.
Any of the ladies have an opinion? I wanted to give them the floor since, you know, we dragged this to hell yesterday. Latoya, Seaway, no? Okay, we getting a house tour vlog with Latoya. Let us know when you're done, baby girl. You're on mute, Latoya.
Oh, okay. I was okay with her like just not like acting like she had been normally acting, right? Because for the most part, she's just been looking like desperate and like still like having a chance. And so I really like that she just was like, yeah, no, I'm done, right? I was very shocked at the letter. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like, again, it is easy to say, oh, this is how she's been acting all along because she like had this letter that was filled with so much vitriol. But am I mad that she did it? Absolutely not. Like, do what you got to do, girl. End your time with him. Save your face on this show as well. Okay, you deserve that. But I also think, like, you know, to have not done it either, I still would have felt the same way about her, because at least when we're talking about we're in a marriage, we're going to try, like she actually exhibited that. And so she has nothing to prove. She doesn't have to say anything to him. So, but you know, he's just, I don't know what's up with him. Like, he's just a punk to me. And I just was like, him just constantly walking away. And again, we talk about like why the therapists keep letting him get away with it. I just don't understand why they are not like holding his foot to the fire and be like, please don't walk away, right? Please sit down here, and we want to talk to you more. But again, the way he talked to Pastor Cal a few episodes ago, like he just doesn't seem to like to be challenged in any way, and that's just going to stunt his growth. And whoever he gets with, trust me, they'll be settling for him. At least that's just what I think. So I'm really interested to just see the last episode, and definitely the reunion after he has looked at himself. But I'm afraid that I don't think that he's going to change. We all know that Emem is engaged right now, so I'm happy for her. That she's able to get the love that she deserves. But yeah, like the letter was wild though. And it seemed like Dr. Pepper was the only one in favor of it. The other ones were like kind of jaw dropped and shocked, but Dr. Pepper seemed like she's always with it. So even if she didn't say anything, like I felt that energy coming from her.
Whenever you're ready, see wait. If not, Sean will go. I think he'll go. I think she might be a little bit away.
Maybe something broke off in the WNBA or the NBA. Seaway had to attend to, because you know she be having her finger on the pulse over there. Okay, so yeah, my opinion stays the same. It's pretty much in line with what we shared about Alan. You know, again, I mean, I'll give you this. Was the letter a little cheesy a little bit? There were parts of it, sure. But I'm not Emem. I'm not sitting in her shoes. I didn't deal with Ike for all them weeks. So I'm not going to judge her for what, you know, for what she chose to express. And I think she was definitely well within her rights to tell him exactly how she felt while she had a captive audience. And I also agree with Emem. I've been calling out Dr. Pia since 6-7 episodes ago. And I'm really tired of how every single time Emem tries to say something, here goes Dr. Pia piping up, ooh, that's shady. Ooh, you're spicy. Oh, you're this. You know, it's like, leave her alone, you know, leave her alone for a little bit. Just let your foot off the gas and just relax and hear her out and allow her to vent and get her expressions out. Dr. Pepper, she sat there. We ain't seen, she came out of retirement to sit and look at these folks. She ain't said a word, you know, leave her alone. I just want people to leave Emem alone, you know, and I'm not saying, oh, I love her, I like her. No, I'm sorry, this is going to be mean, and this is probably just whatever, but I wouldn't want to be married to her necessarily. But I don't think she deserved the treatment that she got. You get what I'm saying? So I think like the same way we have like mixed rules for people, I think like we can not necessarily have somebody as their cup of tea, but we can also want them to be treated nicely. And I think she deserves to be treated nicely. I think she deserved just the same way Juan is treating Karla. He doesn't like her. He's not treated Karla in a mean way and played push and pull games with her. And I think she has a right to let it off. Ike also said a lot of negative things about her, harmful things. So I think she had a right in her own way to clear that up. And, you know, she want to add a zing, a shot, you know, if you want to call it a read, whatever you want to call what she did, you know, whatever she did, she deserved that and then some, you know, and I think she deserved to be fully centered in that moment. And I'm going to end here. I know a lot of us guys are not going to like this, but sometimes men, we need to understand we're not centered around things. Just let women be sometimes, especially when they've been wrong to an extent. Just let them be. Just let her be. You know, if she wants to read a letter to Ike and say all these platitudes or things that don't connect with us, let her be. And if it ain't about you, it ain't about you. Just let it slide off your back. If you know you ain't a BAN, if you know you ain't a bum, if you know you're not a narcissist, then her shots at Ike or her shots at men in general or whatever she feels, it just should just roll off your back. you know? So I just think that.
I'm back.
Well, feel free. Still say your piece. We haven't heard from you. To my Emem's letter.
Yeah, I just want to say that everything that Sean said, and this also goes to that we're not ever gonna make everybody respond to things the way we want to. I think Emem and Alan are very similar, where they're both a bit passive aggressive, and they both let a lot of things go unchecked, and then kind of react at the back end. And I think a lot of us don't handle conflict that way, and we wouldn't do that. And so, would I be reading a 4-page letter? No, because I would have got my ish off from the beginning. You wouldn't have got 2 feet with me. So no, there would be no reason for me to read a 4-page letter, because I would have already expressed myself. But for people who are more like MM, who, kind of hold things in and let a lot of things go, this was her way of expressing herself, and I think that's fine. And and I think it was her moment, and she had to get everything out on a piece of paper so she could get it out and she wouldn't forget anything while she had witnesses. So definitely don't have a problem. But to Dr. Pia, because that's really where my energy goes, this is the reason why I say pick-me's are the root of all evil. Male identifiedness really needs to be checked, and I think people who are male identified really need to seek therapy in their ways, because Dr. Pia's male identified pick-me projection really was disgusting. She has been had an issue with MM this entire situation, and just because she's a pick-me in her household does not mean she should project her pick-me behavior on others. And this is why I dodge these male identified therapists like clockwork. I had one that tried to be a couples therapist for me, clocked the fact that she was male identified, and got her the F on ASAP. I don't play those games. Dr. Pia got a problem with MM. Even the white folks on the tick of the talk have clocked it. They don't know what the problem is. I don't know if it's an anti-black thing. I don't know if it's a colorist thing. I don't know if it's a pick-me thing. I don't know if it's all the above, but she needs to really work on that. She's always calling MM spicy, feisty, testy. Ooh, shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. All because she let her man do whatever. She get her man 3 hours to talk to her when she get home. You let your man get three hours before he speak to you. Don't put that on nobody else. Yeah, Dr. Pia is black, but somebody had a theory that she don't think dark-skinned women should talk. I don't know what the problem is. All I know is Dr. Pia got some issues, and she really done pissed me off from the last time. So yeah, she needs to. I think when you're giving advice as a clinician, as Phil would say, you really have a high bar. And the problem is that people are bringing their imperfections in their own life and trying to tell other people what to do. And, that's always going to be a problem and a barrier. But I really just was upset by that. So yeah, that's what I had to say.
I just wanted to add one last thing, Kojo. The one thing I noticed about Ikechi is playing a role. Ikechi likes to come in solemn with his hat on, looking sad. He's very soft-spoken, and that's not who he is at all. When Pastor Kyle said he's more arts and Emem is more science, as an artist and as a poet, Ikechi is very creative. He's very talkative and he's very expressive. So this whole act that he likes to sit down and be quiet and he likes to be soft-spoken and say, that's what I'm dealing with, that's all a sham, because you as a person and who you are should be shining through. He should be this creative person, able and willing to have conversations with Emem, but he's not. That, to me, as a clinician, therapist, or whatever, that shows that he's faking it, because he's not being who he really is. And it's no way that you are saying this woman is just this bad person behind scenes and you're not providing examples. because that's the first question they should have asked him, to provide examples of when he felt put down, or when he felt like she was aggressive, or whatever the words he wants to use to describe her. They should have asked for examples. I think Emem was let down by the experts. I was very disappointed with Seaway. Like Seaway said in Dr. Pia, she has really let me down. But when you look at people like Ikechi, especially those men and women who are typically expressive, you're a poet, but you can't muster up to say more than 2 words at a time. It's all a fraud. It's all a sham.
Go for it, Easton. Have you said your piece?
No, I already saw.
Have you already said your piece? Okay. Well, listen, I think, hey, I didn't mind the letter. I didn't really care because it was Ike. So, personally, I don't think necessarily that the letter was that bad. Like I said, I don't mind her addressing addressing him. You know what I mean? Like that. I totally understand it. You should want to get off a few shots and that. I get it. You know what I'm saying? You frustrated, you hurt. I think that's a much better way of doing it than actually probably burning something. But, I definitely... I can't resist a shot. I know. I'm a bit petty. I need to grow up. But I think, like I said, I just didn't like that. I didn't like, but again, it wasn't like a crazy thing. I didn't like the fact she put, I don't want you to, I don't wish well for you. You know what I'm saying to you? But again, I'm not big on it. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Listen, at the end of the day, he did her dirty and she wrote her piece. I think my only thing for her is actually, it's not rather less than that. It's like, next time, don't let it get to the point where you have to say those things at the end. So that, and that's the same thing with Alan. It's like passive aggressive people let things build up, and the problem with that is if the release is bad, it can turn bad for you. Do you know what I mean? But I don't think it was that bad. I think the letter was pretty tame. I didn't like the fact she called him embarrassed. Like he's embarrassing rather than saying I. A lot of the language was less about how she felt, and I think that's the only part I was like. She could have, and again, this is me policing. I'm policing. I'm gonna lie to you on this one. I'm policing. I'm like, babe, this would have been a great opportunity to tell him how you actually felt, rather than kind of going for the shade. You know what I'm saying? To like trying to get the score the points and get him back, because motherfucker don't give a heck. That brother don't give a heck. He don't care about you. Like, if you ever try to cuss somebody who don't care about you, it's even more worse. You're wasting more energy. They don't even care. The only part he cared about was when she said about did you do it? He did it on purpose. That was the only part he responded. After that, he went silent and dead. And then it's like, after a while, it's just like, you kind of just, you know what I mean? So I just think, maybe it's just me. I just think to myself, like, yo, at the end of the day, I don't want to waste that energy on people that don't care about
I would
me,
say the little thing, he was agitated because Ike is used to, people like that are used to doing their activities in the dark. And when it's one-on-one, when you're on full display and somebody's calling you out and you have to sit and listen in it, he likes to run even in a lot of instances. But in this moment, he just had to sit there and listen. And I think that's why I think this was the perfect captive audience to put whatever words she wanted to put together, because he had no choice but to sit there and listen. And his reaction had to be managed, not his normal where he would have gaslit her. He tried a little bit at the end. See, this is what I'll be dealing with. But that shows you he was activated a little bit because he was trying to defend himself a little bit. But they was looking at him like, all right, take your book bag and go on and get there with yourself, brother.
That's fair. Okay.
And in what you're saying, Sean, it was clear because in the confessional, he had more to say to the camera than when he was there with the experts.
Yeah, because he's a coward, unfortunately. But I do agree to what you said, Kojo. A lot of times when you wait that long to really get at people, you got it all up your chest, but the impact is lessened because now they don't even really give a F. I really wish she would have got him earlier, but she did get him with that 1-page divorce. So honestly, everything after she got at him with that 1-page divorce is just a bonus.
That was the finisher. When she said that, you could tell that he was pressed.
He was pissed. She ate him up with that 1-pager. So after that, because that wasn't even rehearsed. That's why she ate him up so good. That wasn't rehearsed. She was like, oh yeah, when you give me something legal, give me something legal and then I'll sign it. Okay, babes?
I'm wondering why he was so pressed about that 1-page. Sorry, I said, yeah, go for it.
Because he made a mistake and he was called out. You see, he likes to show like if he's perfect, and she's in the wrong. But just like I was gonna make another point that True Love made in the chat, he never even bonded with the men in the group. So why are you here?
For a check. And to check
Because he's unsuccessful at getting women on his own.
No, all his friends said he wasn't.
No,
Come
but
on.
you saw what he said at the end of the day. We actually have a good resolution to this. He said that he's going to be old and lonely, and he came to that conclusion. This experience taught him that he's not good for anybody. Actually, that's positive outcome. I hope he takes this and doesn't try to date a soul after this. That would be a blessing.
And that's what he was plastering all over all these cryptic messages across his social media, Facebook and Instagram. I'd rather be single than be married and miserable. I might not be for everybody, but I'm for somebody. That's that passive aggressive, shooting out subs all throughout the season nonsense that he does.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad that he learned that he's most likely for nobody, and that is a blessing, because I think this experience, even though he may have came on here for not really all the good reasons, I do think there was a part of him that wanted to test his ability to date and actually be able to be in a relationship. And I think what he did realize is that he's just not capable of being in one. So if he learned that, then that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So
he ain't gonna learn that. Oh, dog.
I'm scared that he ain't gonna learn that. I feel like he's doing the most on his Instagram for just sympathy likes. You know what I mean? Like trying to fish for that sympathy likes. You know, and
you're muted.
Sorry, it's my mic was trying to play out with me. But I pray that they've noticed that the women notice that, you know, this is not somebody you want to try and even and heal or try to understand. Like, leave him alone. You know what I'm saying, Chu? Leave him alone.
Somebody will.
There's always going to be a Dr. Pia. There's always going to be a Dr. Pia looking for a project. So no, I don't know how long he's going to stay single. But what people need to know is personality disorders, if that's what he got, there ain't no medicine for that. So, I mean, this is going to be him. Unfortunately, ain't no cure for that.
And this is why I don't focus on the big, crazy, circumstantial people or events that happen in these shows, and not the general stuff, because it's just always going to be there.
That's what we say. Any other thoughts, guys and ladies? Y'all were quite tame on this thing. I guess we learned from yesterday and said we ain't going to tussle today. So everybody respects everybody's opinion. I respect that.
What were y'all fighting about yesterday?
About the ink on the paper.
We don't care. At the end of the day, we don't care about.
What you learned about that use of the French word "we"?
Do you care about Akechi?
Yes. Yeah, I do. I care about how he's harming Emem. I care about his activities. I'm not willing to minimize it. You want to do that for whatever reason.
Nobody cares about how.
How did it turn into an argument?
Nobody cares about Akechi, how he was treated. Because
I do.
Who's nobody cares?
I care about all of it.
None of us care. I didn't think we cared.
We don't care. I don't care about him the same way I don't care about Michelle.
You may not care. So maybe the we is two people, Kojo and Easton.
Do you care how he gets treated?
Huh?
Do you care that Emem, like, for instance, do you care that he got treated badly? That's what we're saying. Because we're saying that we don't care that he got treated badly.
Who got treated badly?
We don't care that she cussed him out in a letter per se. We don't actually care. That's what we're saying. So he deserves what he's getting. That's what we're saying. We don't care.
I just hate that you guys make it about you have to care about somebody. Like,
you don't have to. Why do you feel like you have to?
It doesn't matter. That's not relative to the point. Us caring, I don't care. I don't have heartstrings for any of these people. It's not about caring. It is about
acknowledging. You do for Karla not work himself. He got heartstrings. Okay, all right.
He gonna get Karla underneath the bridge. He gonna be like, hey, come here. You got trade skills. Come over here.
We gonna get you a Latoya.
I wasn't listening. Probably on purpose.
A job, and we gonna get you some money.
But I don't know. I just have this thing where Easton, you try to minimize. Oh, well, I'm not even going to bother with Ike because that's low hanging fruit or whatever, however you describe it. And I think that is just the way to minimize things. So yeah, I might have been triggered in that moment and not hearing what you were actually saying. But yeah, so if you were saying you don't care that I got disrespected,
yeah, I don't.
Then I acknowledge that and I stand down.
But what was the argument, though? I'm sorry for being a pot stirrer, but I still don't understand the argument from yesterday. I know
they
we're
were
not
releasing Emem's letter and saying that she shouldn't have done that, and she should have gone high, and she should have, she shouldn't have gone low with the letter. And Easton was just managing how she should have expressed herself. She should have been better.
Oh, he was policing. Okay, I get it. Well, that would get a little hostile because we need to stop policing women in 2025.
Right. I mean, again,
and Allen for that matter. Stop.
Yeah, we gotta stop policing everybody. If you can't police a man,
people have a right to have an emotional reaction about their experiences.
About their experience to whatever happens to them. According to everybody.
And let the chips fall where they may.
Whatever happens.
Yeah.
Don't call me.
Look,
don't call me when they have a
right.
Oh, Easton said the letter was tacky. You said that.
This is when he was going in on that letter. It's been like an hour.
The end was tacky. I felt like that the entire end.
We were so close.
Yeah, we were close, but it's
nice
okay.
peaceful ending. Nice peaceful ending. So close.
It was good. It was cool. Everything was fine.
I'm not going to go any further than I went. I actually apologized to Easton for misinterpreted what he was saying. So I'm good. I reeled myself in. I can control my emotions when I choose.
But I do randomly.
My choice. My emotions.
Look at that healthy stoicism.
Look at the regulation.
I knew she was gonna go there. I knew she was gonna go there. He couldn't help that last one. I think we've got it all out, haven't we, guys? I think we've got it out all out. I'm sure we will be back on this by next week because it looks like Madison's going to say something to Michelle. So I don't care about Michelle again. So we'll probably have another argument.
Y'all with y'all capes out for Madison.
Absolutely.
Don't like Michelle.
I'm going to fly Madison's flag the same way that Karla's on it, but at least my person has a job. I'm just saying. So at least my person can afford the cape because you know what I mean. You will be paying for her cape.
Jobs over good character. I got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I don't have. You ain't never dated somebody that got better character than a job, so we already know. None of us are got no job.
Employment over values.
I want to make it very clear. I don't have a cape for Madison.
Seaway said, "I love him, bum and all."
No,
he got good heart. He got a good heart.
Money,
bum and all. No.
That matters. I got it.
She said, "He said, okay, you gonna put the bill, big baller." Smelling like money.
But see, this is the reason why a lot of people we were brokies. When you get with someone that has the character and the values that you value, money will always come. It always comes.
Who told you that lie?
Mm-hmm. That's what David said as well, and that's what David said. So you need to pass that information to Sean so that he can also forgive him because he needs to get him tax forgiveness. That's what he needs.
Wait, David said what? What values David got that's gonna lead to money?
Oh, I don't know. The same one that Karla has because they all got a trade at this point.
Oh no!
They've all got a trade at this point.
They've all got a trade. Do not play with me.
I mean, someone is homeless and we trying to compare to someone's got a house.
Not too much.
Cut it out. Now,
John, crash out.
Hey, which one of you gonna house her? I just want to know. Who's going to house her? I'm just saying, who wants to house her quickly? Who's got a spare room? Because I ain't doing it. You know what I mean? Anyway.
You wouldn't house Karla? What's going on in 2025? What y'all going to work
I'm not
for?
housing Karla. You know, I've got a preference. I don't be dealing with that preference. I deal with my own particular preference. Please, you know me now.
Well, you got to house somebody. By the wig.
I will. A fine-ass black woman that's going to be my wife. I'm not housing anybody else. That's fornication waiting to happen. Mm-hmm. And she about to sage me up in that place. And I'm gonna be hearing drums in the middle of the night. I ain't doing it.
For the whole thing. Don't be having her wallet better be in her purse.
I'm gonna be sleepwalking and probably spoken to her.
Phil, where are you with the sound light?
No job, no place to stay, and no plan.
Hallelujah.
And that's fine.
Hallelujah. And then benediction is needed.
But got a good heart.
David had lust, lies, and lullabies.
I agree with you. I don't even disagree.
Y'all defending basement dwellers and men, but y'all want to harp on Karla. Where are we at in 2025?
She ain't got a basement.
I'd rather be in a basement and warm then be where I cannot be, which is under a bridge because I haven't got a house.
Basically,
I'd
warm
rather
and cheated on all throughout the night.
What
you.
is the Bible
Hey,
scripture?
I'll take the
rather
cheating than be
spend-
under the bridge.
Yeah, I'd rather be in the corner of a basement
I
than
know
be
you
with a
way too
quarrelsome
well.
woman. Isn't that what the scripture
You
says?
would be doing worse than Alan.
Cash out.
You would be in that basement. He would get the basement remodel that he needed. Let me tell you that.
I'm gonna burn it all up.
That basement gonna be remodeled.
We gonna all go together. That's what I'm gonna say. Light it up. All right, listen. Let's bring it to a beautiful end. We've had some fun, but let me let Deacon round us up and give us a nice benediction.
Get Kojo together in your benediction. Kojo.
Feel free to be as free as you need to be, Mr. Davis. Be as free as you want. Remember, the Holy Spirit's
I try
watching
to keep
us.
the benedictions as petty-less as possible. You know, sometimes the me creeps in, you know, but you try to let the Spirit move you.
Oh,
which
feel
normally
free,
the
sir.
Spirit is fair and balanced, but and right more so, you know. But,
Listen, you should go hard because you're gonna need an offering for Karla anyway. So go for it. You go ahead.
Listen, all tithes and offering go to the storehouse, not to Karla. But I hear you, brother. But I think we had quite an eventful night. We took some windy roads. I think that is lesson number one in your relationships when it comes to communication. Don't take windy roads. Take straight paths. Start from a place of understanding. Start from a baseline of good faith in each other. And, you know, I can concede that we do need to manage our emotions to the extent that they don't cause harm to others, harm physically, I shall say. Sometimes we might hurt people with our words, and sometimes that is needed for an emotional release. And sometimes those words are words that are needed to hear. Sometimes we may need to break a cup, burn a pitcher, but as long as you don't take it any further, know your boundaries, know your lengths, and don't go too far. Be bridled with your passions. It is always, always, always wise to not let your emotions take control of you, and that you are out of control and out of hand. Back to you, Kojo.
No, I appreciate it, Sean. Thank you very much for that. Listen, audience, it was a great, great, great show. I enjoyed myself. We had different opinions, not too much on Karla. I will remember that as well. But listen, I've enjoyed it. It's been fun. I've laughed. I've barely laughed, man. I've got a six-pack. I mean, I haven't, but I just wanted to say that. But listen, it's been good, and we'll be back here next week. I have a feeling it's going to get worse next week because what we're seeing from what's going to happen in the previews, there's going to be a lot more to talk about next week's show. So make sure you guys are tuning in on a Wednesday and on a Thursday night when we discuss Married at First Sight. But this week we are not finished. We have Friday night with Jay and El Cid. I believe you guys are doing your Ready to Love breakdown straight after the show ends. El Cid, you want to let them know quickly about that?
That is correct. On Jay's channel, Another Round JS, right after Ready to Love at 9:05 to 9:15. We are breaking down Ready to Love Philadelphia. It's Philly. It's Philly.
I love that. Thank you, El Cid. Saturday night, we'll be live on here talking about Ready to Love, 8 p.m. EST, going at it again to talk about the dating in Philly as well. So you're getting a double dosage from the LBB family and I like to call it extended family. I don't like to call you guys LBB family. You guys got your own names as well. So make sure you guys are following El Cid and Another Round as well on Friday night, and then following us on Saturday night for the live panel. Sunday night, we go twice again. Myself and El Cid. El Cid, again, just let them know what we'll be doing once more on Sunday night.
At 3:05 p.m. EST, Kojo, myself, and Life is Reality, we cover Married at First Sight Australia. We are in week 4. There's a cheating scandal. There's a double cheating scandal. And another couple may leave the season. We had more weddings this week, so we'll see. But Married at First Sight Australia on Sunday at 3:05 Eastern Standard Time, both shown on Kojo and my channel.
Trust me, it's about to be an amazing stuff. And then Sunday night, we'll be having Love is Blind. It will be slightly later because I will be at an event just hosting. So it'll be slightly later. I think it'll be 8 p.m. again. We did it 5 p.m. last week, but I think it'll be 8 p.m. Sunday night, unfortunately, just because I need to be able to get home and get myself situated so we can put on this live panel for you guys. So 8 p.m. Sunday, we'll be doing Love is Blind episode 7 and 9. It's going to be one of those great shows once more again. I know they said love has been bland because the black folk ain't doing what they usually do, but let me just say this now. I've enjoyed seeing white folk crash out. They crash out in a different way, but they crash out. Y'all need to start tuning in so we can stop talking about how black people are the only ones that crash out. White people crashing out, okay? All right? Okay, and they've been telling us the tea on TikTok. So some of these people are crazy. You thought SK was bad? Yeah, we might be cheating, but some people are doing some other things that are unholy. Anyway, any other things out there? I mean, Latoya, have you got any things we can get behind, support?
Just make sure you follow me on all of my social media. Again, I have a community of women who want to break free from self-abandonment and reclaim their power. And so sign up for the newsletter. It's where I talk about personal updates. And I empower you guys to go and live like your life unapologetically.
Thank you very much, Latoya. Seaway, we know you're a busy woman. You're out here dominating the world on the TikTok. In fact, I think she's even doing some TikTok now. She's dominating right now. That's what she's doing. Y'all should follow Seaway on TikTok. Her name is in her little, the little title there. That's her name. It's Seaway World-esque. Follow her on TikTok as well. Support her as well. She does a lot of great sports and basketball content over there as well. Gives her opinion. And I know you guys love her on here. So go show some love over there on TikTok as well. Plus, you can download it on your phone, TikTok now. So no excuses. Go and follow her and send love and appreciation to her on her side of things. Phil or Easton, you got anything you'd love to plug or anything to get behind now? Phil, anything to plug?
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the panelists. We had another amazing super panel. So thanks to everybody being super nice. Love it.
We appreciate you, Easton. I can't wait for you to become the fan favorite on the channel because you're gonna be it. I can tell you that for sure.
It's coming along. I got Seaway on my side.
I'm seeing it.
So now we just gonna get the rest of it.
Not too much on Seaway, but I hear what you're saying.
We're gonna get the chat and then it's a wrap.
A little bit too much dip on that chip, but I hear what you're saying. So. The wind does blow east, but it's not blowing there right now. You know what I mean?
Before you walk, my brother. But we do appreciate you. And I, for those who don't know, I be up in the comments. I don't always reply to people, but I be up in the comments, and I'm starting to see a little tide turning. I don't know how good the tide turning is. It might turn into a tsunami, but I'm starting to see the tide turning. Folks is liking you for whatever reason.
He's only saying that. He's only saying that because Seaway not here to refute it.
Hey, look. Me and Twin, we locked in. Twin and I locked in. We just gonna pull one person at a time.
Brick by brick, and I you know what I'm saying, Chin, I appreciate that. Brick by brick. No, you do well, man. You listen and you take feedback and you take the hits as well. So I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying, Chin. Not everyone can do that, and I always commend you for that. You know what I'm saying, Chin. I respect that because it couldn't be me. I'll tell you that now. After the hits you take, sometimes I won't be me. But listen, we appreciate your thick skin. That's that stoicism you're talking about, that emotional regulation you've been talking about. That Alan needs. I see it now. You know what I'm saying, Chin. I'm gonna send him your number. I don't have it, but don't worry. Anyway, listen, we gotta go, people. Our time is up. It's been a great show. I have laughed. I have cried. With laughter, I've enjoyed this conversation. We had different opinions, and like adults, we agreed to disagree. You know what I mean? So we're gonna be back again, like I said, next this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's events going on, so please do tune in and support the family as you did. We came out 550 people strong. I think I have. Hold on, let me just make sure there was no other super chats I missed. Okay, yeah. That's it. We're good. We got everybody in the super chats as well. So thank you for those who sent a super chat in as well. It's been much appreciated. It's always appreciated. So we're gonna love you, gonna leave you. Let me leave you with a little clip though. You know what I'm saying, Chew?
Oh my God.
That's how I felt about you guys on the panel today. I can't lie to you, but then I also felt like this. Y'all were making me proud, and I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying to you? One more last one. Because you know what? Y'all got me a bit like this.
What y'all tell him, huh? Come on, Benedict Arnold. What y'all tell him? Okay, Rhonda, would you like to go first?
I'm just showing off my memes. I can't lie to you. They ain't got no reason to rhyme. There's no reason to rhyme with it. You know what I'm saying to you? But listen, we gonna love you, gonna leave you. Listen, but we always gonna leave you with something.
You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
Little black book. You know what time it is.